I said I'd play more Fire Emblem at some point. Welcome to Fire Emblem Three Houses, a game that I've actually played a decent amount of. A decent amount. For the record, I am not on the CF stream profile because if we go to continue, I have, of course, done up to chapter 7 of the Ashen Wolves DLC on here. At the very least, all my completed saves are on a different Switch that I can't get to at this very second. AKA, I'm not allowed to bring down the stairs because I have my own Switch these days. But 2019, I didn't have my own Switch, fun fact. So, of course, I played on other people's. So, you know. So yeah, that's why there's no main save stuff, but there's the side story, because I did that a while ago when I grabbed the game for my own Switch. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to point that one out. Anyway, if you don't know what Fire Emblem is, go watch the Engage playthrough, or I can just explain it now. I'll explain it now, in fact. Fire Emblem is great because it's technical RPG-ness. Engage actually was rather engaging in the combat side of things and in the story a little less so. At least that's how the internet goes on about it. I, for one, actually enjoyed it, so maybe I'm a simpleton. Or maybe it wasn't as convoluted as this. Anyways, we're going to be playing on normal. I don't like the idea of maddening ever, and we're going to go for casual because let's face it, there's only going to be a limit to our overall amount of party members that we can possibly have. This is just because of how the game works. So yeah, and we connect to the internet. This is so we can actually get the yellowy and purpley things. Anyway, wee. Fun fact, you can do that. You can like tilt the Switch controller or Joy-Con if you're using a Joy-Con for that purpose. In the Titan Plains, Imperial year 91, boots on the ground, march, that sort of thing. I'm curious whether 28 years later will be any good. 28 weeks later wasn't that good, to be honest. 28 days later, oh, that was a good film. Truly, it's medieval times with people on horseback and various other stuff, and also tactical nukes. But it's in this inferno we do get to see conflict. Probably put the headphones on. If the game's not loud enough, then I'll have to adjust things. As you can tell, Three Houses is definitely a lot more grittier than Engage by default because it's actually showing us actual combat occurring to a much higher extent. Oh, that sword's rather curvature. That's 11 sword then. It's the small details. Go whoever wins! The fact that we know so little as to what the fuck's going on. At least on the first playthrough. Utilising Byleth's up B to try and get the victory, unfortunately turns out she's got hands.
Tell me, Nemesis, do you recall the Red Canyon? You'll die. Die.
Lovely.
Die. You took everything that I loved.
Something like this where you have to consider, is revenge worth it? Yeah, probably. At least in Fire Emblem, because usually if an evil person's doing something evilly, it's usually in the servances of some kind of evil god that ends up being very much you need to deal with situation. After every battle, it's important to hug the sword of your fallen enemy and get that blood all over you. I do it in every battle, in fact. Insert something about Big Bang Theory here, and yeah, that's all I'll say on that bit, because I have seen episodes of Big Bang Theory. I haven't seen an episode in years. I would want to say a good decade, but that's because I got forced to watch an episode or two. At least that's the way my mind puts it.
Oh my. What could have brought you here?
Magic. When in doubt, magic.
I wonder how you got in here.
Magic. I've always said magic, but
It is most rude to interrupt a moment of repose.
well, you did just
Very
wake
rude
up, so
indeed. Now come to me. I wish to have a look at you.
welcome to the character creator. Although it's not really much of a character creator, it's a gender selection. Yay! You can choose to be male Byleth or female Byleth. So the choice is no tea, a nice amount of tea. Everyone to go in the more rude approach. Standard form for us. Let's just go male and be done with it.
I have not seen the likes of you before. Who are you anyway?
I'm a ghost. I'm a demon. I'm immortal. Lovely different dialogues that have the illusion of choice. Truly, well, actually no, this is pre-Genshin. Damn it! Can't make the Genshin reference. I was going to say, like, damn it, this is all the same sentence kind of logic. It doesn't work. I'm immortal, you see.
I see. Then you must have a name of sorts. Go on.
Well, if the lady does require it, by default our name is Byleth if we happen to go forward. However, we can change the name. You can call yourself, you can do this. Now, because of online connectivity, you can't do something rude, so if I wanted to call myself Fuckus McG, I can't, besides that's too many letters. So, yeah, we'll just do the standard, boring quiz. But that's because that's my name. Don't wear it out.
Huh. I shall not ever grow accustomed to the sound of human names. You must possess a day of birth as well. Beneath which moon and on what day were you born to this world?
Woo! And welcome to the various months that the game has, which is classed under moons. So you get Guardian Moon, Pegasus Moon, Lone Moon, oh how lonely, Great Tree Moon, well, that tree was rather great, Harpstring Moon, damn bards, Garland Moon. Insert your Final Fantasy references here, people. Blue Sea Moon, as opposed to Red Sea Moon. Verdant Wayne Moon, I'm really going for the colours today. Horsebow Moon, I hate it when the horses have bows on them. Wyvern Moon, Red Wolf Moon, that's the Red Moon, and Ethereal Moon. So if I was in the world of Fire Emblem, I would, oh, I've gone the wrong way. I would be under the Wyvern Moon, or the 12th. Doxing my birthday as per usual.
It seems we share our day of birth. How strange.
How convenient.
It all feels so familiar. I think it may be time
Axe
for
kick that.
yet another nap. It is almost.
This this question marked fella is definitely a tired being. Then again, when you have to sit on a phone all day, you probably would get tired too, to be fair. I wonder how the King of England does it.
Hey, time to wake up. Were you having that dream again?
I was dreaming about a young girl. Weird. You weirdo.
Described her to me before. I don't think I've ever met anyone like that.
Maybe it's someone I'll meet in the future, and it's one of those real bizarre dreams where it's like you don't realise you had that kind of dream that ended up being a day in the future until suddenly that day in the future occurs, and you're just like, huh.
In any case, just put that out of your mind for now. The battlefield is no place for idle thoughts.
This be Geralt, our father, and also mercenary captain. That's right, we're mercenary.
Risking your life is part of the job for mercenaries like us.
You know, we've played with mercenaries before in Fire Emblem. Namely Ike, but still.
Okay, time to get moving. Our next job is in the kingdom. I told you before, it's far from here, so we'll need to leave at dawn.
And fair enough. Of course. some things that we say can up
Everyone is
the
already
affection
waiting
of the
for us
character.
outside.
Like Geralt right now, we just got points towards him. Well, support points. It's not really any supports with Geralt, but you get points regardless.
Gerald, sir, sorry to barge in, but your presence is
And
needed.
of course there's options that can cause them
What's
to go
that?
downwards. Just cause.
Please forgive our intrusion.
And here we go. Our main lords, ladies and gentlemen. And for once, not all sword wielders. Yippee! Recently looked back at Smash Brothers Brawl recently, and it's so fun to look at like an early part of the game where it's like Ike and Marth and Meta Knight, our favourite Fire Emblem lord. I've played more games where Meta Knight would fit as a Fire Emblem lord than as a villain of a Kirby game. Or at least an enemy at points. So, you know.
What do a bunch of kids like you want at this hour?
We're being pursued by a group of bandits.
Damn banditry.
I can only hope that you will be so kind as to lend your support.
Bandits? Here?
It's true.
Be surprised.
They attacked us while we were at rest in our camp.
We've been separated from our companions and we're outnumbered. They're after our lives, not to mention our gold.
Fair enough, Kurt.
I'm
I
impressed you're
mean
staying
Claude.
so calm considering the situation.
I don't know why that makes me laugh. Purposely
That uniform.
saying the name of a different character, person voices.
Bandits spotted just outside the village. Damn, there were a lot of them.
I guess they.
I'm
followed
sure
you.
we'll fight at least 4,
We can't
maybe
abandon
5
this
in the following map.
Come on, let's move. Hope you're ready.
And that'll be representative of a fuck ton. That the guys are clearly being like, oh my god, oh no, we're screwed, we're gonna die horribly, there's a lot of them, no. But I love doing this. Wow. Ha, I made it to the end before the loading thing. It's very easy to get to the end before the loading thing. Welcome to A Skirmish at Dawn. Prologue, an inevitable encounter. 1, 2... About a little more than I stated, but regardless.
Let's take care of those thieves before they overrun the village.
But of
Take
course.
down the enemies in front first. That should take the wind out of their
Thanks,
sails.
Joel. I thought I've been doing this long enough to not need to be told what to do. But yes, tutorialization of every Fire Emblem game where you maneuver your units up close and then attack with them. So like we can select ourselves here, go up to the bandit and press good old attack and attack. And we can actually see exactly how well we'll do. With a might of 13 we get down to 5 health and we're practically guaranteed to hit. But 100% hit does not necessarily mean you will. But pardon me, there is always factors that could end up causing you to not actually deal damage in Fire Emblem games. That's how it happened with. And of course there's quit rate. We have a 4% chance of quitting and thereby we would kill. And we also have combat art, like Wrath Strike. It uses up durability of our weapons more, but we, well, benefit quite greatly actually from it, because we would kill the enemy instead of letting them be able to go and attack one of our units. So let's do that. Ooh, Wrath Strike! Ha!
You fought well.
And we gain experience of our level, our class mastery, and also of the skill of the weapon we used. And yes, there is durability in this game as compared to Engage, since that's what we can compare it to, on the Switch wise at least. Yeah, durability. They break, the weapons will definitely be not so useful, and you would have to wait until you're not in battle in order to be able to repair them. So, lovely stuff. At least, hey, at least you still keep the weapon, unlike in, say, Awakening, where the weapon's just gone. And with the battle menu, we can throw out stuff and all of that. So anyways, let's look at our new, well, technically recounted, but new party members. For this battle, at least, we get all 3 of the various lords. Lord number 1, Edelgard. She wields an axe and does start with skill level in authority, which, you know, that can be useful. So yeah, these are skill levels. Obviously, I'll go into detail as to how these level up a lot more than just in combat later, when they're actually there. And we can see what her stats are like and what she's got going for her. This is all that she's got going for her at the moment due to the fact that she's a lord and it's the first map of the game. So really it's just, she uses an axe. And of course is of the Adstrestian Empire. So, you know, and Smash as a combat art. -5 weapon durability, but plus 20 crit, so, you know, that's kind of neat. Over here, we've got the Blue Lions' Holy Kingdom of Fargus's Dimitri even. Oh, Black Eagle, by the way, for Elgard. That's their house in the place they go to. For anyone who's just not played the game before. This noble here, and whose VA has been on my shit list ever since I saw a picture of him wearing an AEW shirt. No, seriously, I was a little miffed for a couple of days. This was during the time when every time I've had an interaction with an AEW fan, let's just say they were rather like I rather than remain watching just AEW over coming back to WWE and stinking up the joint of being like, oh, I'm a fan of wrestling, and then complains about everything about wrestling other than over choreographed gymnastics. Anyway, that tangent aside, the Lance Wielder. As you can tell, they also seem to have the same with Sword and Authority, just as a way to do it. And the stats are different, to an extent. We are also able to see exactly how there is difference in terms of the hit, the crit, and the attack overall. So Axes hit harder, but less accurate. So, you know, it's how it is. And Tempest Lance for -5 weapon durability is just a powerful lance attack, does do +8 might, so hey, you know, that actually is not too bad, but there's no crit to it. And lastly, Claude, who I've already made the point of, the VA for Claude, Joe Saitia, the last name I can't fucking say to get myself out of a plastic bag, obviously, Vander in Trails. However, in this instance, Claude here, you wield a bow. Bows are range weapons. The game will probably kindly tell us how that works right now. They can attack from a distance, which is great. It means that they are effective against flying units, ideally the Pegasus and the Wyvern.
Ready and willing.
Also, if we see a conversational bubble thing on a unit, that means that person has a conversation with them.
It's because of you guys that I'm not dead right now. Thanks for that.
You're welcome, Claude. Ain't it great that you're not dead?
Like you in some remote village. The gods of fortune must be smiling on me.
Whatever they must have been doing quite recently must have not been that troubling. Meanwhile, in Fire Emblem Three Hopes, no, I'm being serious. Anyway, that does get us some support points with them, so a little bit of talky talks.
You say you're a mercenary, so show me what you can do.
Oh, certainly, Elgard.
I'll cut through.
And Dimitri can get a talk with
We
us.
are in your debt. It wouldn't do for us to fall in a place like this. Please,
Fair
lend
enough.
us your strength. Let's work together to drive out these thieves.
So I also didn't look at their unique abilities really, but with those three, we'll be able to look at them later anyway, and they all
We'll
have the same
advance
thing
while
basically.
protecting ourselves from the enemy. Take up position inside the forest.
Gerard, the tactical genius that it is, reminds us about terrain effects. Depending on the terrain will depend on whether or not they actually are of any use. So yeah, we're classed as a mercenary. We also have a mystery quest, whereas these guys have different quests, like the minor quest of Sailors. It sometimes raises might when using combat arts. I know I didn't go over them, so I am going over them now. The minor quest of Blooded occasionally doubles attack and weapon uses for combat arts. So, you know. And the minor quest of Reagan sometimes stores health equal to 30% of damage dealt when using combat arts. And for all of them, their ability is of, well, for Claude, it's Leicester, Englishness, lineage, multiplies experience by 1.2%, and if we go over to these two, they have the exact same, but it's Imperial and Kingdom, yeah, Royal lineage. Yeah, they're all the same, 1.2 times their experience, whereas for us, we get Professor's Guidance. We're not a professor yet, so this is kind of wrong. Multiplies this unit and adjacent allies experience earned by 1.2%. So you'll always be gaining more experience overall with Byleth. I'm just going to place there because we can't get into the forests. Same with Elgard, we'll just move Elgard there for the moment. Since we can't get them into the forests, might as well make sure that the enemy doesn't run in them either. And now it's time to fight more mercenaries. We take damage, no, but that's how Fire Emblem works. In a case of hardcoreness, you if a unit goes down, it tends to mean that they're dead. You fuckers. Oh, anyway, easy dispatch.
That's the golden deer for you.
Sadly, because of their positioning, we'll just do that. Quit animation! We love seeing them.
Well, how was that?
Now, if you already have a plan as to which house you'd actively go for, then experience being funneled into just Byleth or into one of the three lords makes sense. Also, items. We might want to use a Funerary on ourselves, as we have taken damage, but maybe not yet, as we've gone to the forest.
Yes, good. If we're in the forest, we can sustain their attacks.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing, Geralt. Forest is not the only terrain type. Keep an eye out for the others.
Damn. Why are there mercenaries in the village? Guess we'll have to deal with them too.
Indeed you do. Geralt actually now makes a move. Green means ally. So we can't control Geralt. Oh well. And now he's telling us about combat arts, which we've already used at least a couple of. Anyways, let's just put ourselves in the forest. Maybe I should have healed, but well. Maneuver people around so that they're able to help out, and I'll just end turn there because I don't want them to.
Hey, you with the blank stare! Out of my way!
The power of the forest means Kostas here can't hurt us as badly due to not being able to hit. These other two will just funnel behind, which is a little silly, but what can we do?
Attack when an ally is nearby.
When we are near other allies, we do get link attack bonuses. They do increase various stuff like avoidance and hit rate, and also between certain units may also raise the might. So, it is useful to do this. So if we put Edelgard here, for instance, press wait, and then we can give the experience Byleth by attacking Kostas like this, and we do more damage than we would have in other situations. In fact, actually, if I put Claude here, will that count as well? Yes, it does. Lovely. The only person we can't get it for is Dimitri, but that's just due to positioning and all that. So I'm just going to Blast Strike and put Kostas down. Also, level up. We got a point in Dexterity, Defense, and Resistance, meaning whatever helps Dexterity, and we can take more damage from various attacks in general. Also, an Iron Axe is gotten from Kostas. It's good to get on Byleth, or if you want to put it on someone in particular of one of the three houses, you'd preferably want it on the lord that you're actually going to do. Anyway, Kostas was going to go and murder Edelgard, and we kind of decide in the foolish way to go with going with our backs instead of with our sword. We should be dead right now. We were idiots. But hey, man, we really are now just in.
What are you accomplishing with
Welcome to hell.
It's
Nah,
like you're
I'm joking.
trying to get me killed, you fool.
Oh, don't secretly bond your life to mine then.
After all, if you don't know the value of your own life, you're not going to protect it very well, are you? Of course not.
You think Hard and Mercenary would
Well then, I guess
do
it's
a
up to
better
me
job?
to guide you from now on, right? You can call me Sothis, but I'm also known as the Beginning.
So this is the beginning. Yes, you can groan now. I'm groaning internally because, good lord, that is... Ugh. Intelligence system's a better way than this, I swear.
Sothis. Yes, that is it. My name
So
is
this is your
Sothis.
name. See, it's too easy and I'm groaning now more myself. Just like, why did I do that? More than anything else.
And I am also called the Beginning.
So where's the end?
Who once called me that?
So this.
I was not able to recall my name until just now.
Oh goody! This girl has amnesia potentially. Woo, I love amnesia
Just like that,
storylines.
it came to me. How odd. That look upon your face. Did you think me a child? A mere child who forgot her own name?
I mean, to be fair, considering the voice and the size and
Child's just
everything
saved your
else.
life. And what does that make you?
I'm less than a child, or I am no child? I'm less than a child? Oh.
Correct. You understand.
She likes that. God damn it.
You threw yourself before an axe to save just one young girl.
Indeed we did. Despite the fact we were wielding a sword, we could have probably, I don't know, blocked with the sword.
Yet all is well, as I have stalled the flow of time for now. You would have died had I not intervened.
We were colossal stupid people. Oh, thank you. How noble of us, despite the fact that we were doing
gratitude so much to
the stupid
ask.
thing.
I did deem you worth saving after all.
Could have not saved us.
Though it is only momentary, time has stopped. However did I manage that?
You don't even know how you did. Oh, fuck's sake. Alright, what will happen when time resumes then?
When time begins again, the axe will tear into your flesh and you will surely meet your end.
Axe go into back, we go, ah! And then we kill over and die.
How
To get
rude
into
of
the
you to drag
great
me into
details.
this. Now what to do?
Well, I guess I'll just stay here and wait to die then.
As though I could stand idly by and watch that come to pass. Oh, but
How nihilistic of us.
of course. I must turn back the hands of time.
Because that's something that people are just able to do.
Yes. I
So I suppose
do
no
think it
one,
can be
so
done.
this is most likely a
Really
god of
hard
some
quite
caliber,
troublesome.
whether the game will actually go into details about it or not, or whether I'll have to explain things that get said outside of the game will be left up to depending on what route we end up on, I think.
I cannot wind back time too far, but all is well. You are aware of what's to come, which means you can protect yourself this time. Now go! Yes, you who bears the flames within. Drift through the flow of time to find the answers that you seek.
So, you know how to engage the time crystal? This actually does work as a game mechanic. Like, straight up, this is how we have that ability to turn back time in the combat. Being like, oh shit, I made a mistake. Anyway, we get to see Costas do that kip up again, which is kind of cool. And of course, this time we actually do it properly. See? Use your sword like a genius, not like an idiot. Awkward silence as the cutscene ends.
Hey, did you just...
Whether Geralt is referring to the deflection of that axe in an expertly crafted manner, I think you would have taught your son well, or daughter, depending which Byleth you choose to play as, or whether he noticed something was off in the potential time stream. No idea. They never explain that. No, God, more battle than them when the Knights of Sabres.
We'll cut you down for terrorizing our students.
Alois, our beloved, and some
The thieves are running
random
away.
additional
Go
knights.
after them. The students seem to be unharmed. And who's this?
Indeed, they're unarmed.
Why?
Of all people, no! And so a skirmish at dawn is done. And we're the MVP because, let's face it, we are truly Mortel Fontanius Porter. And yes, I did just do the wrestling reference because it was too easy. Anyway, that's the last time I'll do that because I think I screwed up the name. So if MVP randomly does watch this, I'm sorry. Please don't send Lashley after me. Anyways, behold, online statistics. These are the people that are most often deployed, and they're gone.
Captain Gerald? It is you. Goodness, it's been ages. Don't you recognize me? It's Alois, your old right-hand man. Well, that's how I always thought of myself anyway.
Maybe Geralt always thought you to be the left-hand man. You never know.
It must have been 20 years ago that you went missing without a trace. I always knew
Just flashback 20 years ago. I'm going now. Just dematerializes.
You haven't changed a bit, Alois. Just as loud as ever. And drop that captain nonsense. I'm not your captain anymore.
For now.
These days, I'm just a wandering mercenary. one who has work to do. Goodbye, old friend.
Bye then. And we all walk off and we go our separate ways. And the game really just gets a bit boring doing mercenary work for 20 hours. But, hey, you know, at least it's more creative than the way they could have gone about it. Obviously, no, that's not what's about to happen.
Wait, that isn't how this ends. I insist that you return to the monastery with me.
Well, time to become a man of God.
Garrig Mach Monastery. I suppose this was inevitable.
And how about you, kid? Are you the captain's child?
He is a stranger to me. That's a funny one. No, I'm a bandit. I hand over your goods is another option. Or we can just go, yeah, that's correct.
Is that so? Well, physical differences aside, your
Because,
manners
yeah, you know,
remind me
genetics
of
and
the
all that
captain.
is a thing. Thank you, Eloise, for reminding us.
I'd
It could be
love for
bigger.
you to see
Yeah.
the monastery too. You will join me, won't you?
We nod. There's no option for us to refuse. Damn it.
What's troubling you, Captain? You aren't about to run off again, are you?
Geralt literally was about to run off.
Even I wouldn't dare run from the Knights of Seros.
Which suggests that separation of state and church has not occurred in the world of Free Houses. Hey. Hardly ever is in the world of Fire Emblem. Fucking medieval
They do seem rather
simulators.
skilled.
No, pardon me.
Ah, it seems your presence is required. Get going.
Truly, we are mad, as we have someone talking in our head. Damn you, Sophus.
I
Be
appreciate
more
your help
corporal.
back there. Your skill is beyond question.
Oh, that's how a merc
You're
works.
clearly an experienced mercenary. And your father, that would be Geralt, the Bladebreaker?
Indeed.
Former captain of the Knights of Seros, oft praised as the strongest knight to ever live. Have I missed anything?
No, I didn't know he was a captain, but yeah, sure. How we get
I'd wager
support
the
with the other guard
explanation
for that one.
is fascinating indeed.
Hey, you are coming with us to the monastery, right? Of course you are. I'd love to bend your ear as we
And
travel.
so Claude wants to yap at us for the next several hours. Dear Lord.
I should mention that the three of us are students of the Officers Academy at Garrig Mach Monastery. We were doing some training exercises when those bandits attacked. I definitely got the worst of it.
That would be because you ran off.
Wait, that guy's running. Get them fast.
Too true. I was the first to make a strategic retreat. Everything would have worked out if these two hadn't followed me and ruined everything.
But they could have potentially died then.
Because of them, every single one of those bandits chased after us. Utterly ridiculous.
Ah, so that's what you were thinking, Claude. And here I thought you were acting as a decoy for the sake of us all.
His intentions were as clear as day. You will prove a lacking ruler if you cannot see the truth behind a person's words.
And you're too paranoid.
You will prove a lacking ruler yourself if you look for deceit behind every word and fail to trust those whom you rely on.
Oh, joy. A royal debate between their highnesses.
Lovely.
I wonder how being completely predictable affects one's ability to wield power. Personally, as the embodiment of distrust, I'd say your little exchange smacks of naivete.
Me, naive. Tell me, are you actually incapable of keeping quiet, or is your lack of self-awareness a condition of some sort?
In any case, forgive our digression. I must speak with you if you can spare a moment.
Alright, sure, Dimitri. What do you
The way
have
you held your
to
ground
say?
against the bandits' leader was captivating. You never lost control of
True.
the situation. It showed me I still have much to learn.
You could become a mercenary too one day if you just follow with your ideals and
Your
learn how
spirit
to
is
wield a
precisely
weapon
why I
and
must
take
ask you
merc
to
work.
Consider lending your services to the Empire.
And we're being
I
recruited.
might as well tell you now. I am no mere student. I am also the Adrestian Empire's.
Halt, Edelgard. Please allow me to finish my own proposition.
Help, we're being recruited by everyone.
Holy Kingdom of
If only the
Seros
job
is
market was
provided
actually
by
like this.
Exceptional individuals like yourself. Please, do consider returning to the kingdom with me.
Oh boy, join an empire, join a
Whoa
kingdom.
there. You two sure are hasty. Trying to recruit someone you just met. Tactless, really. I was personally planning to develop a deep and lasting friendship
Or-
on our journey back to the monastery before begging
Tons
for
of
favors.
yapping, and then joining an alliance. I've been too long of a wrestling fan to know that no alliance ever works out.
But it seems there's no
Despite
time for
anyone
nice
going,
excuses.
long live the alliance.
So, capable stranger, let's get right to it. Where does your allegiance lie?
It seems one's place of birth is quite significant to them. Yet they are so impressed by you that you may take your pick.
We can lie in 3 different ways due to the fact that our birthplace was 9 of these. we learn that later. So anyway, if you pick any of these 3, then you get support points with the person of that said thing. This really doesn't matter. Yeah, I can't randomize it because there's no way for it to. So that's fun. We'll just say Leicester Alliance.
Is that right? Well, that's a win for the Alliance, so I suppose I'm obligated to be happy.
All right, that's enough with the small talk. It's time to head back to the monastery.
Looks like we'll have to pick this up another time.
Fair enough. And off they go.
They are in such a hurry. You know, each of the 3 is most unique.
Yeah, they definitely have got intriguing things about them. For example, with Elgard, she was a refined young woman, if we do say so ourselves. But we feel as though she is always evaluating us, so, you know. Always ever evaluating people, but fair enough. Dimitri, meanwhile, does seem quite sincere, but we do sense the darkness lurking beneath. Let's hope one day his heart doesn't fall to it, and then we have to go and rescue him from the Shadow Realm. And yeah, I'm going to start... Well, Realm of Darkness, not Shadow Realm. I'm confusing my realms of shadowy darkness stuff of different franchises. And of course there's Claude. Easy smile is striking. Claude. But that smile doesn't reach his eyes.
Yes, I thought the same. I am so sleepy.
So this needs to work on her sleep schedule so that she actually gets enough sleep so she doesn't have to fall back to sleep every so often. Seriously, some people are just like that and there's no way to get them to fix it. Well, anywho. Well, Sophie sleeps. We can save our game. White clouds, great true moon, 3 houses.
White clouds.
But we are hearing stuff, so I've just listed. I just read out exactly what was being said. So, you know. Welcome to part 1, White Clouds. Have fun playing the same chapters 3 times, well 4 times even. Fuck. Don't touch wow. Spring has arrived, or something.
As they celebrate the dawning year, the people pray that they may realize their full potential, just as a tiny sprout hopes to one day grow into a great tree.
Indeed. Look at the tapestry that they've got here. That's quite lovely.
The continent
Geography lesson!
Said to be protected by a revered goddess, has existed since time immemorial. 3 ruling powers now control the land. In the south lies a region long held by a more than 1,000-year-old dynasty, the Adrestian Empire.
Led by Elgard,
Beyond its borders,
or rather,
frigid
will
north
be leading by
is the
Elgard
home
one day in the
of Holy
future.
Kingdom of Fargus, ruled by the royal family and its knights.
Dimitri being heir to the throne.
To the east, a league of nobles that heeds no king nor emperor rules what is called the Leicester Alliance.
And Claude is in line to one day potentially lead. How convenient, all at the same place at the same time, eh? Relative harmony is correct, because let's face it, there are always probably going to be tensions. There's going to be people that'll be like, oh, this area should be in our land, because that's how it always goes.
This will be your first time at the monastery. I'd be happy to show you around.
Ah, tour guide.
In a nutshell. The good and the bad.
As to be expected.
We'll be there soon enough.
And yeah, Byleth is very much silent for the most part. In cutscenes especially. But they do speak on occasion.
There it is. Garrick Mock Monastery.
Behold, a monastery, so of course, church-related looking stuff. But, you know. And of course, the outside bit. Good, hold those orbs. Some people should be focusing more on work, but then again, I blame hot women teachers for wearing nothing at all, practically. And we enter.
Rhea's here.
To the surprise of not Geralt, where? That woman there. She's got green hair. Just like that Lady Sarah's feather back in the year 91.
Did the flow of time bring you here?
Yes. Because unless suddenly you fucked over time so it branches out in a way that loops back around at all times. Time is linear. There's no way for it to suddenly be, oh, now we just jump to here, and then back to there, and then over to there. Unless something's gone horribly, horribly wrong. You've been here before.
I've never spoken of this to you before, but many years ago, I was a knight here. I reported to the Archbishop, Lady Rhea.
Fair enough. What the hell's an Archbishop?
The majority of folks in followers of the teaching
In a medieval
of Sarah.
setting, we've not been taught how to believe in God.
The leader
That's
of that
probably not a good
ridiculously
thing,
large
actually, to be
religious
honest, because that
organization
sounds like an
is
easy
the
way to get
Archbishop,
burned at the stake.
Lady Rhea.
Thank you for your patience, Gerald. My name is Seteth. I am an advisor to the Archbishop.
Welcome to this special game, but then again, it feels like no one's allowed a full-blown beard in these bloody series as in Japan. Blah, blah, blah.
It has been a long time, Gerald. I wonder, was it the will of the goddess that we have another chance meeting like this?
Forgive my silence all these years. Much has happened since we last spoke.
So I see. The miracle of fatherhood has blessed you. That is your child, is it not?
Yes. Born many years after I left this place. I wish I could introduce you to the mother of my child, but I'm afraid we lost her.
No, our mother's dead. Which, for Fire Emblem characters, is actually a little less often. Now, the fathers, on the other hand, oh boy, they... Oh.
I see. My condolences. As for you, I heard of your valiant efforts from Alois. What is your name?
We can just remain silent. But my name is...
A fine name indeed.
Obviously, because they didn't want to put it on the dialogue bit, but, you know.
From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for saving those students of the Officers' Academy.
You're welcome.
Gerald, you already know what it is I wish to say, do you not?
You want me to rejoin the Knights of Seros, don't you? I won't say no, but...
Your apprehension stings. I had expected that Alois would have already...
Well, then Alois didn't do his bloody job.
I must step away for now, but I expect they will desire a word with you soon. Please listen carefully to what they have to say. Until tomorrow, farewell.
Well, we'll see where in a bit. For now, though, more cutscene after this loading screen.
I can't believe it. Forced back into the Knights of Seros.
Well, you tried your best, Geralt, but hey, we can't all be winners.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Looks like I'll be stuck here
Yeah,
for
pardon
a
me.
while. And I'm afraid your services are requested as well.
Indeed, they have been. I must work here? As a mercenary? I didn't realize they need
Nothing
work
like
done.
that. They want you to teach, by the sound of it.
That is one of the worst decisions possible. What the hell do I know that
You
would
heard
be
those
taught?
brats earlier talking about the Officers' Academy, right? Well, the Academy just happens to be short a professor.
How convenient.
And apparently that damned Alois went...
Damn it, Alois! Or thank you, Alois, depending on whether you wanted to suddenly be a teacher. Which does mean that, considering... Now, fun fact, this game has a lot of final bonding events with pretty much every single character, besides a few being your students. Well, the Fire Emblem we groom our students. Some of them are not anywhere near adulthood when at the start of the game, so we can actually say that.
So, you must be the new professor.
Talking to Geralt on this one.
How stern and handsome you are.
No. I'm not the one.
But he got flustered, so, you know, he takes the compliment.
You can handle things from here. Good luck.
And Geralt leaves us,
Watch out for Lady Rhea.
but does warn us about God. Well, at least the Archbishop.
I don't know what she's thinking, making you a professor like this. She may be up to something.
Well, if it keeps me here, which therefore keeps you here, then it's a good strategy, actually, by
It's you
way.
then? So young.
Competence and age are not necessarily correlated. As you well know, I am Hanneman, a Crest Scholar and Professor at the Officers' Academy.
And we saw in the cutscene be teaching magic, which makes sense.
I wonder if you bear a
He is a
crest of
mage,
your
after
own.
all.
When next you have a moment to spare, I insist.
And already we want to be experimented on, so that's fun. Yeah.
I'm Manuela. I'm a professor, a physician, a songstress, and available.
Wink.
It's nice to meet you.
On that last one. But hey, you know, this is a relationship you could have, obviously, with Hanneman. Yeah, you can actually do that. Manuela as well, if you really want to hag like her, but you know. I'm being mean. Anyone who likes Manuela as a romantic interest kind of thing, fair game. I don't blame you. Maybe we'll do some supports and remind ourselves as to why maybe we don't want to, or maybe why we should. But that's for the future. And we can say, oh, you're a physician, or you're a songstress. We'll go for a songstress that gets us support points.
Before
So, you know.
I came here, I belonged to a renowned opera company.
So she must be pretty good at that songstress thing. For being an opera company that's relatively renowned.
The Middle Franc Opera Company is beautiful, peerless.
Spare our colleague.
Thankfully, Hanneman doesn't want us to be going through too much yapping.
Now then, it seems you'll be taking charge of one of the Academy's 3 houses. I expect you haven't yet been briefed on the nature of each, have you?
No.
Do you really not know? Fine.
People don't
I'll
want
do
to
your
tell me
favor and
shit.
explain. The Officers' Academy.
How much are we
is
even being
comprised
paid
of
for this
3
job?
houses of students, each of which is closely affiliated with its region.
I've already brought up the names of the houses, but they'll now go over them more
The
so.
Black Eagle House is for students from the Adrestian Empire. Their house leader this year is Edelgard, the Imperial Princess, who is in line to be the next Emperor.
Assuming that the current Emperor doesn't suddenly just die of a heart attack right now, then she would be Emperor.
The Blue Lion House is for students from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Their house leader this year is Prince Dimitri. He is to be the next king of Fargus.
Which is great news for Fargus.
Lastly, there is the
Unless you hate
Golden Deer
Dimitri, then
House,
not so good.
which is for students of the Leicester Alliance. Their house leader is Claude, grandson to Duke Regan, the leader of the Alliance.
Which then implies the idea that he'd be automatically leading the Alliance the moment Duke Regan dies. Which, it depends how the Alliance does things. If it's based on votes, then it could always end up going to someone else. If it's based on blood relations, then...
I'll say, I just hope none of those little treasures cause any trouble.
That's one way to put it.
Quite. For now, I suggest taking a stroll around the Academy to get your bearings.
Hanneman is correct. Learn of our location so that we know exactly where we'd be going around to, you know, be able to teach our students and whatnot of the various stuff.
Oh,
And facilities
keep in
of other
mind
caliber.
that I've only notified the house leaders that you're our new professor. It's more fun that way.
So, for any misunderstandings that occur with any of the other students you can talk to in the next segment, it's all Manuela's fault.
I suggest you try spending time with the students. Some odd ducks in their
To put it
bunch,
charitably.
but they're good kids. I'm sure Lady Rhea will have more information for you tomorrow, but that should get you going. Good luck. You'll need it.
And now, the stress of teaching. Meanwhile,
Appointing a stranger, a child no less, as a professor at our esteemed
Setiv is correct. Where the fuck are our credentials? I didn't see a CV on that desk this morning.
I have made my decision, Sedith. I know worrying comes naturally to you, but there is truly no need. That stranger is just
Yes,
flesh and
because of the
blood.
flesh and blood that we happen to be of, that automatically means that we should automatically be a teacher here. That makes perfect sense. Oh, wait, no it doesn't. Well, what the fuck are you on?
I can't say that's all too comforting. How trustworthy is this Geralt character? Is he not the man who went missing after the Great Fire 21 years ago? I would remind you that Flame is now here with us as
We'll
well.
see her later.
I beg of you, please consider whether this is an unnecessary risk.
Sedith, they have my trust. Let that be enough for you as well. More importantly, I have received a report from Shamir. I am increasingly concerned about a matter regarding our suspicious individual.
Suspicious individuals!
We cannot
No!
ignore those who harbor ill will toward the church. especially if they are frequenting Garrick Mach.
Yes, that matter is of great importance as well. I shall continue my investigation. Rhea, for now I will have faith that you are placing your trust with the utmost care. I pray that nothing occurs to shake that confidence.
Those that choose Black Eagles observe. Anyway, and specifically Edelgard side of things. Yeah, I'm gonna get a workout in by doing this. Wee! Woo! Oh, God, I didn't drop the controller. I had it in my hand the entire time. That was too delayed. So it wasn't authentic enough of a drop now, was it? Cutscene time. We're reading a book. This is a horse. Ah, I see. And soon to be all too familiar bell chimes. Out the doors and into the world of Fire Emblem Three Houses. We get to have some highlights, such as the Golden Deer. Looking at a map. Behold, a map! Ah yes, indeed, intriguing. And of course, various characters we'll get to know in the future. This is the case for all the houses, obviously, because that'll be a roundabout even if we don't pick their house. Meanwhile, in the Black Eagles, Edelgard showing off about how magic or quests work or something, and all that. And of course, elsewhere is the Blue Lions. They're currently training in terms of combat. So, you know. Using bits of wood for that, and of course we need the slow-mo of Dimitri with sweat going off his face, you fucking horny fuckers, intelligent systems. And while that's all happening, we make our way to Rhea. In all of her radiance. Some people will utilise this as a way to them to be able to then go, you know what, I suddenly feel like God is important. And there'll be others that will be like, ha, God. But anyway, we now get told how to explore. That's right. We have control of the camera, and we can run around. Whee! But anyway, our first task.
Already aware that you will be teaching here at the Officers Academy, correct?
Yep, Manamana and Hunman told me about that stuff.
Speak with the 3 house leaders. You should also take a look around the academy and acquaint yourself with your new home. That is your first task.
A simple
here
enough
at the
task.
monastery. Please let me know if you accept it. Once you have finished, come and speak with me.
Pardon me.
May I
Our
ask
first
a
quest
favor of you?
will net us some money, a funerary, and an iron sword in the process. We just need to go down into the reception hall and, pardon me, talk to all of the house leaders. Quests will be given to us over time, and we'll have some will be just done in the monastery itself, easy enough, and sometimes it will be like a battle which requires us to spend time doing some battles in order to do stuff. Anyway, we can talk to Sev and Eloise.
I imagine you were a bit surprised that I
A
recommended
little
you as
bit,
professor
to be
here.
honest.
Frankly, we had someone else in mind for the role, but they ran off during our dust-up with the bandits.
Well, whoever they were, they obviously weren't that important.
Can't entrust students to someone who's abandoned them once before, huh?
You saved the lives of the students you came across.
True,
That,
you
at
did.
least, was admirable.
Thank you, Sev.
Now you should make the rounds. Go around the monastery and see that you greet everyone.
Indeed we should. So off we go. And for the record, for the moment, where's the map? This is all we can explore for the moment. We can't even go into the west of here, although it does tell us about all the other NPCs that are about, because we get knocked into a first floor bit from here. So although there's a bunch of NPCs with talk symbols, it doesn't want us to do that. At least not right now. Anyway, welcome to here. Heading back, if we were to try and go onto the second floor from here, do we end up before Rhea's room or in Rhea's room? Ah, before Rhea's room. That's a weird thing that they've purposely did that, so you can't actually get back into that chamber. But we can go up here and talk to some of the other people that happen to work here, like Cyril
I'm real
is here.
busy, so could you please move along now? Thanks. Okay, now, what else did Lady Rhea need doing today?
It works for her, obviously, and all that. Anyway, Geralt's in his office. Well, the captain's quarters, but
Here
it's
I
his
am
office
again,
now.
the office of the Captain of the Knights. That said, I'm merely here to assist. Apparently, the current captain
He's not captain yet. He becomes captain very quickly, though.
I hear the captain has a hard time keeping up with the responsibilities of the job. That's where I come in.
Fair enough. Here be Silas' office. He's currently not in there. He's with Alois in the main chamber, so it doesn't matter too much. And of course, there is Hanuman and Mother's offices.
This is my research laboratory.
Indeed it is.
I've worked hard to furnish
There's a
it
lot
with
of
the
books.
rare materials and purpose-built equipment required for my work.
And there's a quest analyzer. We can investigate it. What could this quest be? Weird. Anyways, Manuela's in her office as well. And we're here to visit.
Professor! Dropping by so soon? I expected we'd take some time. Exchange a few smiles as we passed in the hall. Flirt a bit, you know. Well, you're here now. And I do like a man who knows what he wants. Lock the door.
Now, because this is Fire Emblem and not a mid-2000s Bioware game, I'm not going to have suddenly to be trying to censor a softcore porn scene. So, well, sex scene. So, you know.
That welcome didn't faze you at all, did
Thankfully,
it?
we don't have
What's
to do
the
that.
matter? Don't you like me? Or are you just so innocent you don't
Probably the
understand
latter.
me?
Probably the latter in case of our character. In terms of the former, that's more on the person who's playing the video game that we are playing. Is anyone else up on this bit? Oh, there is also Thomas, but he's probably not that important. Let's go and do something else. Anyway, it's Beta Drift. Beta Drift. I'm thinking of video game of racing games again, aren't I? Now, Beta Sprint and charge down the hallway. Behold, a cat. As we get the highlighted of the reception hall. No, that cat's now sleeping in the middle of it all. And we can see Edelgard just standing there. Not that menacingly, to be honest. We can even hear how some of the others are talking about various other students, funnily enough. Anyways, Edelgard.
So, you've accepted a teaching position here. Pity. I was hoping you would lend your strength to
You
me.
do not know which house I be picking
I never
yet,
properly introduced
Edelgard.
myself, did I? My name is Edelgard von Hresbalk. I am the princess and heir apparent of the Adrestian Empire. I wonder if you'll be tasked with leading the Black Eagles. I hope you've had a chance to meet everyone. Would you like to know more?
With the house leaders, we'll be able to actually learn more about every single other student that's in the house. For Edelgard, we have, of course, with the Black Eagle house, Edelgard herself, alongside Hubert, Ferdinand, Linhart, Caspar, Bernadetta, Dorothea, and Petra. Man, that was actually a lot easier to say than I thought. And we can go into more detail of them.
Well,
with a little bit of
some think
talk
I'm a bit
from said house lord.
arrogant even. But there's little to be done. One day, I must rise to become Adrestia's next emperor.
I mean, you could always take an axe to the back of the current emperor. I'm sure the military would be on your side the entire time.
What else? Well, it seems to me that we may have similar personalities.
Elaborate. But yes, we can actually now see the ability more for Frith here with the defining ability, as well as her strengths and weaknesses. As we can see, she has a strength in sword, axe, authority, that's the flag symbol, and armour, with a weakness in bows and in tomes, or at least in that would be the faith one. Because that's the faith one, there's another one that's for reason, which is other magic, so, you know. Sword display just means we can get a closer look. Behold, it's Edelgard. Ain't she great? Or ain't she bad? Depending on who you are, of course. So, you know, nice to take a look at. Hubert.
Hubert is the heir of Marquis Vestra. He has served me since I was a child.
Fair enough.
You may think his blood runs a bit cold, but actually that's rather accurate.
Fair enough, then.
Still, if you can get past that, you'll see he's quite astute and reasonable.
We'll take a look at God's word for it, but his defining ability is Officer Duty, Gantz, Might +5 with Gambits. We have yet to have battalions on any of our people, so we have yet to be able to actually utilise this for anyone yet, in terms of Gambits. But for Hubert, they're stronger. And he has a strength in bow, reason, and authority, with weaknesses in axe, faith, and flying.
For some reason, he
Those
thinks of me
counts.
as a bitter rival and is always trying to challenge me. It's terribly irritating.
I will one day overcome you, Edelgard. Who is this twat?
His house is that of Duke Iron, which produces Adrestia's prime ministers.
Emperors and
That
prime
family
ministers.
is perhaps too pleased with its own status.
Fair enough. Anyways, Ferdinand here has confidence as his ability. Grants hit / avoid plus 15 when unit is at full health. So, you know, he has a better chance of hitting and of dodging while he's on full health. Well, the moment he's no longer full health, this ability's dead in the water, but dead in the ditch, but you know, and his strengths are in sword, lance, axe, and horse. That's why he'll just pick up a horse and lob it at you. That's definitely how horse works. So, you know, and no weaknesses. Huh.
He's remarkably intelligent.
Linhardt.
He only wishes to apply himself to tasks that particularly interest him, and nothing else. He's also fond of, well, now.
Well, obviously that's the most interesting task he applies himself to then.
If he had any work ethic or sense of duty to speak of, I suppose he would be destined to become an
That was my
official of the
knee.
Empire.
Ha ha ha. Well, while I clicked my knee, which was needed because it was feeling a bit off, Linhardt's defining ability is Catnap. If a unit takes no action except wait, recovers up to 10% of the max health. Okay, so if he takes a hit and he waits and not does anything, he'll have some health back. His strengths are in completely just on the magic side of things, and his weaknesses are in axe and brawling. So, you know, do with that what you will. Caspar is up next.
He's the second son of Count Burgles. He has no inheritance in his future, which is perhaps why he's always so eager to prove himself.
Well, that makes sense.
He's overly energetic and rushes headfirst into any battle. If he ends up in your care, be sure to keep a close eye on him.
Oh, we will, Edelgard, if we happen to be in Black Eagles, or if we later on, because you can do this, recruit him into a different house. His strengths are in the axe and brawling variety. My bad. First, has the divine ability of Born Fighter. Adjacent foes suffer a Voidant minus 10 during combat, meaning he's more likely to hit them, which is good. But yeah, strength in axe and brawling, as opposed to Linhardt's opposite of that. And in the weaknesses, bows, reason, and authority. He doesn't like authority. Well, that sounds like a pedigree in his future. Edelgard just gets out the golden shovel, buries Caspar in 5 minutes, and we never hear from him again. That's enough wrestling talk for now.
I suppose you could say she's a bit eccentric, but she seems like a gentle soul.
Fair enough.
I believe she shut herself away in her quarters and doesn't care to leave.
Woo! Social anxiety!
Finds her way to class.
Wait, that's not a good thing. Anyways, Bernadetta here has the divine ability of Persecution Complex, which grants attack plus 5 when unit is not at full health. So as long as she's taken at least 1 hit point of damage, her attacks will automatically be stronger. Obviously, that's risk versus reward. You're not at full health, which means if something could kill when you're only at full health, not in terms of not getting killed, that could be a issue. But anyways, her strength is lance and axes, but her weaknesses are in swords, axes, fists, and armor. So bow lance is the way to go on that one. And yay, social anxiety, and of course it's the one with purple hair, because of course it fucking is. I swear, sometimes Surgeon Systems wants to taunt me. Anyway, Dorothea, our first commoner of the Black Eagles.
Eagle House, but Dorothea is an exception. She's a songstress from a famous opera company in the Empire. I'm not
The same one
sure
that
what
solved
brought her to the
Manuela.
Officers' Academy.
So, chances are they've already crossed paths at least a couple of times. Anyway, she has Divine Ability Songstress. Adjacent allies recover up to 10% of max HP at the start of each turn, meaning it is wise for Dorothea to start next to other people in terms of the start of the turns, especially if they are hurt slightly. But, funnily enough, despite that, she has a weakness in faith, so she ain't a healer. Anyway, strengths in sword and reason, but yeah, but you know, that's fine. And the weaknesses other than faith are in the horse and flying variety, so no mounted combat for her. And lastly, for the Black Eagles is Petra,
To the west of
the other
is an
commoner of the
archipelago
house.
called Brigid. Petra is the granddaughter of their king.
And yet she is classed as a commoner, despite being a princess.
Brigid is a vassal state of the Empire, which is how she came to be enrolled here.
Fair
She's
enough.
incredibly smart and studious.
Fair enough. Hunter's Boom grants crit plus 20 when foe's health is less than 50%. So, that's a good way to get that final blow in, kind of logic. Strengths in sword, axe, bow, and flying, with weaknesses in the magics. Fair enough. But yeah, that is the Black Eagle house. There be a gatekeeper.
Greetings. You must be the new professor. What a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to see you too, gatekeeper.
As for me, my job is to stand here at this glorious entrance and leisurely watch over the comings and goings of everyone. Make folks
Indeed.
smile, you know?
Having good security at the door is always nice.
And by that, I mean to vigilantly guard this entrance with my very life. No levity whatsoever. As of now, nothing to report.
Fair enough. Anyways, we can't head this way because there's a guy in the way that will stop us. But we can head this ways. And I saw another cat. But welcome to the Officers' Academy part of the monastery. This is where most of them will actually be in like the classrooms, learning and all that. Fabulous stuff that education systems tend to have. Unless you know you're in America where they're scrapping practically everything, but yeah, you know.
Well, scored a teaching gig here, did you?
Yep.
Talk about a great first impression. I guess that means I'd better introduce myself properly. I'm Claude von Regan. I'm from
Welcome.
the ruling house of the Leicester Alliance.
No, I would
but
rather
don't worry
thank
too
you
much
for
about all that madness.
all that stuff.
I'm guessing you don't know which class you'll be teaching yet, do you? I bet you'd like ours. We're not as difficult.
They're all willing to coast on seas.
Have
Yeah.
you met the folks
No.
in the Golden Deer House yet? Care to know more about
We haven't actually met anyone from the house just yet, but we'll go into details about everyone. First off is Claude, who we already know about the defining ability of.
As luck would have it, I'm pretty curious about you as well. But what's life without a bit of mystery?
Leave me alone.
Let's just spend the next year or so learning about each other little by little.
Fair enough. Anyways, he's got strengths in swords, bows, authority, and flying, with a weakness in lance and faith. Fair enough. And yeah, his experience is earned by 1.2. So, the Lords will always gain more levels overall, comparatively to most others. Simple enough. And now it's time for the rest of the Golden Deer House. We got Luenz, Raphael, Ignat, Lysithia, Marianne, Hilda, and Leonie. Let's go over all of them in
He's the heir of Gloucester territory.
each.
If you haven't already picked up on it, he's a bit arrogant and fancies himself a ladies' man. That said, deep down he's really devoted and honest. Though I wouldn't
enough.
mind never hearing him talk about his noble obligations ever again.
That could probably get quite tiring if their Thai character is, I'm a noble, see, and I do the noble things. Anyway, Distinguished House is his defining ability, where he deals 2 extra damage, not take, that would be really bad, but deals 2 extra damage while in formation with a battalion. So just have a battalion on him and he'll be better. He has strengths in lance, weazen, and horse, with a weakness in fists. So no drunken brawls will be happening in a bar involving him. Besides, he probably just grab a... Besides, he has magic for that anyway. Next up, someone who will definitely be able to punch you in the face very hard.
Family, but his parents died in an accident.
No!
Seems like he's had a rough life. Despite all that, he's just about the most cheerful guy you'll ever meet.
Sometimes
His
the most
passions are
cheerful
drinking,
people ended up having the most
eating,
tragic things
and
occur to
actually,
them.
that's about it.
So there's a chance that Raphael is definitely hiding the trauma. But his defining ability, Gooding Basket, has the chance to recover up to 10% of max health at the start of each turn. The trigger percentage, and yeah, once we have the trigger percentage, I am just getting a drink. Is sometimes a thing that people have. So in this case, it is the luck stat that depends on it. Currently he has a luck stat of 6, so that means at the start of each turn, he at the moment would have a 6% chance of getting 10% of his health. That's an example. Obviously if you boost his luck to the cap, then yeah, higher percentage chance. His strengths in combat, or well, rather in the training side of things, is axe, fists, and armor, with a weakness in bow, reason, and horse. So don't expect him to be on a horse. Next up is Ignat.
He's the second son of a merchant family. Since his brother will inherit the business, he's training to become a knight.
Which is fair enough.
If you ask me, it doesn't seem like he truly wants to be a knight. He's probably just
conflicted of interests again, as per usual. Anyway, his defining ability, Watchful Eye, is very simple. He has plus 20 hit. Like, at all times. He'll have a better chance of hitting comparatively to everyone else. On paper. Just on paper. Because you can never tell. But it does mean that Forest is not going to be as effective for the enemy with Ignat's than with other people. So, you know, anyway, his strengths are in sword and bow and authority. And a weakness in flying. I understand I have a weakness to car. Next up, Lysithea.
Lysithea is the daughter of Count Ordelia, and is probably the youngest student here.
Probably. There are a few that's around the same age as her-ish, but yeah.
But watch out.
Definitely
she
on
gets
that.
Angry if you treat her like a child. As for me, I do it on purpose.
Claude, knowingly being a bully.
In this place, you know?
Anyways, Mastermind is her defining ability, which doubles skill experience and in battle, meaning to grind various different weapon types with her is going to be easier no matter what. But then that comes the weaknesses, and the strengths for that matter. The strengths are in the magics and authority, and the weaknesses are in sword, lance, axe, and armor. So for shits and giggles, we should pick Golden Deer and make her an armoured unit. Marianne is up next.
Marianne is Margrave Edmund's daughter, and that's pretty much all I know about her.
Fair enough.
She doesn't interact much with other students, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks here have never even heard her speak.
Fair enough on that one. And also, yeah, depression, that is the joke. But anyway, Animal Friend unit recovers up to 20% of max health at the start of each turn when adjacent to a cavalry or flying ally. So if you have an entire house, or well, entire party full of cavalry and flying units, then she benefits greatly with her ability. Otherwise, not so much. But her strengths are in sword, faith, horse, and flying, so she might be mounted herself to be fair, and weaknesses in fists and armor. Darn, no armored unit Marianne as well. Next up is Hilda, and automatically biases based on colorization of hair, I'm going to say best character 10 out of 10. But anyway, that's enough about pink hair. Seriously, I definitely have to question that one to myself lately.
If you look up lazy in the dictionary, her picture...
Of course, there has to be the lazy people.
She never got around to submitting it. Not too unusual for a noble.
Which would definitely be why there would be she would have the picture lazy in the dictionaries, but Claude is correct on that one. No, it's so lazy to do that. Anyway, Advocate is her defining ability. Adjacent male allies deal 3 extra damage during combat. So great to pair off with a bunch of male characters just for the purposes of dealing more damage. Yippee. With strengths in lance and axe and weaknesses in faith and authority. Simple enough. And lastly for the Golden Deer, Leonie.
Leonie enrolled because she wants to be a mercenary.
Fair enough.
I think she said that her father is a hunter.
Oh, pardon me.
She's pretty blunt and as stingy as they come. A habitual saver too. I think she's hoping to repay her village for helping to send her here.
The village spent all their money on her. Debt that will never be unpaid, will never get repaid. Well, whatever is her ability, if a male ally is adjacent, unit deals 2 extra damage and takes 2 less damage during combat. So again, a case of pair up with a bunch of male units around them, and hey, that's gonna be beneficial. With strengths in lance, bow and horse, and no weaknesses. See, another no weakness person. Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, that's enough about the Golden Deer. We can actually check our map and be like, yeah, gee, I wonder where everyone else is. So if we want to go talking to all the other people, like pretty much most of the Golden Deer are in here.
Are you someone's guest? The dining hall's that way, if that's what you're looking for.
No, Raphael. That's Captain Gerald's kid.
Hi, I'm proof that Captain Gerald definitely did the deed at some point.
Hi, I'm Leonie Pinelli, Captain Gerald's first and greatest apprentice.
Is that
I'm
so?
Sure he's told you about me?
Prepare to be jealous.
Nice to meet you. I'm Raphael.
Nice to meet you too, Raphael.
Who are you again?
Well, when he decides to open his ears, we'll have an entertaining conversation.
Ah, you must be the renowned mercenary who rescued Claude.
Indeed I am.
Honestly, you should not have troubled yourself over the likes of him.
Yeah, well, I was involved saving other people, so,
My
you know.
name is Lawrence Hellman Gloucester.
Oh, yes, Lawrence.
You will want to remember it.
Who are you again? Oh, I just pulled a Raphael, fuck. Oh, well.
Hi.
So you're the skilled mercenary who
Indeed.
saved Claude, are you?
Oh, you are? It's such an honor to meet you.
It's an honour to meet you too, Ignatz. Sometimes people do need to be,
My parents are Alliance
you know,
merchants.
formal. But, yeah.
And I am Lysithia von Ordelia. Please do not forget it.
Well, Lysithia, von Ordelia, I will remember your name a lot better than that law fella over there. So, you know.
What do you think?
Hey, are you that mercenary? Everyone's been talking about
Ah.
I'm
Well, it gets
Hilda
around.
Valentine Goneril, and her name is Marianne von Edmund.
A shy one, she is.
Are you joining the Knights of Saros or something?
Yeah, something
I
like
look
that.
forward to seeing more of you.
Well, you'll definitely see more of me, Hilda, as we go off to not talk to Dimitri, because that'll trigger a teleport back to where? Inside the Blue Eagle's house, there's... Oh, no, the Blue Lion's house, there's all the people where we haven't gone over yet. And in the Blue Eagle's house, there'll be all the Blue Eagles. Black Eagles! There's the Black Eagles. We'll talk to them first, since we've actually gone through them all.
What? I don't talk to
Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Ah! Eyes wine, Ferdinand.
Our house leader owes this person a great debt. Is that not right?
Yeah.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
You are quite to
legitimate
that,
son
to
of
some
the Eyre
extent.
The Empire's foremost house. Are you going to join our class? I look forward to getting better acquainted with you.
And burnt out wouldn't hide behind people.
Well, aren't you
Anyway.
just lovely? Is this your first time in the monastery? Shall I show you around? Oh,
Be
name
my
is Dorothea.
guest? Question mark?
Before
I
I
don't know.
joined the academy, I was a member of an opera company in the Empire. You should hear me sing sometime.
I'd be glad to. But anyway.
Is it true that you saved Edelgard? That's incredible.
Yep.
The name's Caspar, by the way. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too.
Linhard, goodbye.
No, bye, Linhart.
Yeesh, Linhard. How'd you get into the academy with those manners? So, are you a student here too? Maybe we'll be in the same class.
Caspar thinks we're in Free Hopes.
I am Hubert, a humble servant of...
Yes,
Lady
Elgard said as much.
I heard you came to the aid of Her Highness. You have my most sincere thanks.
You're
This
welcome.
is Petra. She has come all the way from Brigid to study in the Empire. Back on her archipelago, she is actually a princess. In
And yet is a
She
commoner.
would be called heir to the throne.
Hello, I am called Petra. I am pleased to be meeting with... I am pleased to have met you.
Pardon me. Having to learn how to talk in the Fodlan sense, aka English, because we're in England, English-speaking countries. There is an orange dot over here, because there's a person called Joetza. You know what? They seem weird. Let's not go near them. But yep, that's all the blue. Black Eagles. I'm going to keep screwing that up. Anyway, if we head into the Blue Lion house, we can talk to
Are you the mercenary who
the various
saved
NPCs
His
here.
It's an
Well, the
honor
various
to meet
party members here. Like Sylvain.
I'm Sylvain Jose Gautier.
Jose!
Feel free to say hi whenever you like.
I'm just going to call him Jose now. No, I'll call him Sylvain, because that's what he's called. We're being smart about it.
Hi there. You must be the one everyone's talking about. I'm Ash. Great to meet you.
Good to meet
This
you
here is
too.
Dadu.
And
He
hello,
serves Prince
Dadu.
Dimitri.
I have heard that you rescued His Highness. Words cannot express my gratitude.
Fair enough.
Should you ever require my strength, please know that I will hasten to repay this debt.
Well, good news on that end if we ever need to do it for a thing.
I have heard all about what you did from Prince Dimitri. As a citizen of Fargus, I thank you.
You're welcome.
He also said you're quite skilled. And he doesn't just say things like that.
Gee, I wonder if we'll have to sword fight you at some
I
point.
look forward to sparring with you and beating you.
Beating me, you say?
Felix, must you always speak of fighting right away? Oh, and
Bloody Saiyans.
you may call me Ingrid. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is mine. And over here,
Who's
these
this?
two.
You don't look familiar at all. Do you work here at the monastery?
Oh, mercy.
Do you think this is that mercenary people have been talking about? Now that I think about it...
Good on you, Annette, for knowing that.
It does sound like something Dimitri may have said. I suppose you'll be enrolling at the Officers Academy too, then?
Well...
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mercedes, and this is my best friend. I'm Annette. It's nice to meet you.
This game came out in 2019, Chris. The name Mercedes doesn't mean bad things at the moment. Don't need to reference bad wrestling things, and oh fuck it, tangent time, fuck belt collector gimmicks, none of them ever bloody work.
Please accept my apologies for the other day. You came to our aid, yet I hadn't even the courtesy to properly introduce myself.
Like, Dimitri's talking now, but like, ugh.
Crown Prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus.
I don't know what Tony Khan's booking ideas
of course,
are.
At the Academy, I am
Whose idea is it? Is let's take a person that's not a draw in the slightest, give them 1 billion belts, that will definitely get them over. Shock and horror, it doesn't get them over, and it just buries a bunch of belts that could have been used by other promotions to actually further other storylines and build their own people.
Delightful news.
Just what I'm gonna do, and
I'm confident I could benefit greatly
from your right now. But you know.
In any case, welcome to the monastery.
Maybe I should be mean to VAs.
Different houses here. Did any of the Blue Lions catch your attention?
Well, we've already talked to them specifically, but Dimitri will tell us a bit more about them as well as himself.
Me? Oh,
Maybe I should put all of
please
on.
forgive me. It's difficult to open up on the spot, don't you think?
True.
I'm afraid my story has not been a pleasant one.
No.
I do hope that doesn't color your view of me, but I understand if that can't be helped.
Depression. I've done that joke already before, damn it. Anyway, yep, royal lineage, blah 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 blah. Strengths in sword, lance, and authority, with a weakness in axe and reason. Oh. No axe wielding for Dimitri, but the dude's here to pick up the slack.
Born in Dusker, and has been loyally working in my service for the past 4 years.
Fair
He's
enough.
rather taciturn, but once you get to know him, you'll see he's a kind and good-natured young man.
I'll believe Dimitri. Anyway, Staunch Shield. If he takes no action except waiting, he gets given +4 to his defense for a turn. So that 8 defense would become 9, 10, 11, 12 defense. Lovely. But as you can see, as a drawback on his stats, he has 1 in resistance. So someone trying to stab him with a sword probably ain't going to take too much. Someone decides to throw a fireball at his face, that face is just completely gone. He'll look like Calypso in Twisted Metal 1. So you know. Anyways, he has strengths in lance, axe, fists, and armor, and weaknesses in faith, horse, and flying. Moving along to Felix.
Felix is the heir to House Fraldarius. He has a bit of a sharp tongue, but don't let that fool you.
He stabs people with it. Oh no.
He gravitates toward people who are skilled. Perhaps you would enjoy a friendly competition with him sometime.
Mayhaps. He has the Lone Wolf ability. He deals 5 extra damage when no battalion is assigned or when the battalion endurance is 0. So if you do happen to put a battalion on him, you won't get anything out of it until it hits 0 endurance, which is kind of stupid. So this may be an instance where you just never put a battalion on them. So, you know, he has a strength in sword, bow, and fist, and a weakness in reason and authority. Sadly, this means not making him a mortal savant. Besides, he probably doesn't get any good spells anyway. With that weakness. Anyway, oh yeah, I should have listed throughout the names. But anyway, moving on to Ash.
He's the adoptive son of Lord Lenato of Castle Gaspar.
Hence commoner, despite being...
He has an extremely earnest personality. So I'm certain he will approach your lectures with great enthusiasm.
Good. So it's nice to have a keen learner. I swear I have known people with the sort of look that Ash has. But anyways, lockpicking is his divining ability. That's why he just straight up has what thieves tend to have, which allows unit to open doors and chests without the usage of keys. Phew, I don't need to spend several chapters not having access to a unit of that caliber. Thank God. And whether you want to make the Awakening reference with Gaius, or the Gage reference with Yunaka, that's up to you. Or insert other Fire Emblem game here. Sorry, I haven't played all of them. Especially the ones that are only in Japan. He has a strength in axe. Oh god, he's going to cleave one if we don't behave. And bow, and a weakness in reason. So again, not really all that magical. Anyway, Sylvain.
Sylvain is the heir to House Gautier. He is a capable person who highly values his friends.
Oh, but
that's
good.
Well, he's always been a bit of a Skirt chaser.
Pervert.
so to
Here's
speak.
another word we could use.
Pardon my bluntness. I speak with him about it often, but it doesn't seem to help.
Sylvain, we are not here to get laid, we are here to learn. Anyway, Philandro is his defining ability, speaking of various words we could describe him as. If a female ally is adjacent, the unit deals 2 extra damage and takes 2 less damage during combat. It's basically the same as Leonie's ability, except female instead of male. And he has a strength in lance, axe, and horse, and a weakness in bow. And here's a fun fact, if we picked female Byleth, whether we went Black Eagles or Golden Deer, the moment we would be able to recruit other students from other houses, we'd be able to get Sylvain for free. That's a neat thing. That is clearly him skirt chasing. But yeah, little fun fact there. Mercedes!
I hear she was born to imperial nobility, but a twist of fate brought her to the kingdom. She may seem carefree on the surface. but she's
Backstory that we may
actually a
learn in the
kind
future.
soul who pays careful attention to everyone around her.
Fair enough. She has the defining ability Live to Serve. When healing an ally with white magic, unit recovers the same amount of health. So let's say 2 units get, her and another unit get hit with fireballs in the face at the same time. She can heal them, and she'll get healed as well, thereby saving you having to use another healer to heal the healer. That's kind of useful actually. Strengths in Reason and Faith, and weaknesses in Sword, Lance, Axe, and Armor. Simple enough. And then there's Annette.
Annette is Baron Dominic's niece. She is a talented student who scored extremely high marks at the Royal School of Sorcery.
So, magic
She's
user.
cheerful and hardworking. Brilliant, really. Though she can be a bit oblivious at times. I hear she caused an explosion in the kitchen last night.
God damn it! How are we meant to eat food if the kitchen's exploded? Well, we'll deal with... Well, obviously that's been dealt with before we get access to the kitchen for various activities that we can go over at a later point. But the defining ability Perseverance is our first instance of a rally. Basically, you could go up next to one of your allies and rally them, and that will give various stat bonuses depending on which rallies you have. For instance, with Annette, she just by default has a +4 to strength to various people. So you could use it on Felix, Dimitri, basically anyone who you're using physical attacks with, and they'll do a stronger attack. That's good. But that also means you're not attacking that ton with her. If there's, say, something that's weak to magic, you might want to do that instead. It's all about picking what you want to do the most. That would be the best way to not die horribly. Anyway, she has strengths in Axe, Reason, and Authority. One look at the strength deck and prepare hope we can get an axe that uses magic. And weaknesses in Bow and Armor. No armored Annette. Fair enough. No, pardon me. And lastly, but certainly not least,
She
Ingrid.
is also a childhood friend of Felix, Sylvain, and myself. She is
Connections,
diligent,
that's good
industrious,
to know.
and principled. In truth, she is more knightly than most knights you will ever meet.
And that's a fair enough, sensible thing. Lady Knight is her defining ability, which grants might +3 and hit +5 with various gambits. So similar to Hubert's defining ability, but with less might, but with more hit. So do that what you will. And strengths in Sword, Lance, Horse, and Flying with no weaknesses. It's nice that there's a few students like that where there's no weaknesses. It means they are more malleable. You could shape them into whichever unit you need the most, really. Though they obviously have their preferred setups in terms of stuff, but anyway. The quest is now complete. Now that we've talked to all the house leaders, we now have an Iron Sword and a Thornberry and some money. Yippee, thank you, Rhea. And I suppose we should return. We can continue exploring, but we'll return to the audience chamber as we have talked to everyone. And now I'm going to have to make the decision now. What playthrough are we doing?
We have found our halls brimming with the vitality of well-intentioned souls.
I suppose it is time for you to take charge of one of our 3 houses of students. I must note that I am personally against entrusting someone as lacking in trackable history as yourself with
I
such
would too, to
tasks.
be fair.
But it is as the Archbishop desires.
The Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer.
Or as I seem to go on about it, the Blue Eagles, Black Lions, and Golden Deer.
I hope you've made it a point to get to know
That's
each
one
of
I don't mix up at all. That's...
Since you are new here, we have decided to allow you first pick. Manuela and I will take charge of the remaining 2 houses.
Simple enough. And we now get the question of which house do we choose. The Austrian Empire. Many are nobility and most of them do use magic. Well, Hubert, Dorothea, and Linhart. The others can use magic. This is the thing. They can all use magic. They can all use swords. They can all be armoured units if you really must make them armoured units. But they have their preferred ways of going about things. The Blue Lion House. Students, the Kingdom Fighters, most valued chivalry and excel at military arts, and the Leicester Alliance, where, as per regional tradition, many are skilled archers. Ignore the ones that are bad at archery. This is something that I was having to consider. I was hoping to try and stall for as long as possible, because I don't know which one to make. Now, this is the 3 different routes of the game. Technically there's 4. Whether we go Black Eagle, Blue Lion, or Golden Deer. Part 1 won't change too much. Like, the overall, like, structure of what levels we're doing won't change, other than, of course, more of the relevant stuff that we learn over the course of the game in terms of what's setting up to then be the bit where it actually is more unique depending on the house you pick. So I actually have explained online before that I've not ever finished a Black Eagle house playthrough. Like, I have completed Father's Golden Deer, and I should have one of Blue Lion, but that's on another Switch. So I don't know which house is more done by people online, actually, to be honest. Like, if I was to go onto Google and type which one has been mostly done, like, I doubt I'd get a concrete answer. I don't actually know. You know what? Where's the dice roller? Oh, hang on, that's D4 only. Right, I should probably grab this one. Dice roller. Sadly, the best we can do is a D4. So. So behold, we won't count this initial result, but it would be a 2. So we got to do this properly. 1, 2, 3, and on a 4, we re-roll. Simple way of doing it. So we roll. 1. Well then, it's Black Eagle.
So you have chosen the Black Eagles led by Edelgard, correct?
We'll put that back down there because that's the tab I use for, because that's the version of things that I use for the Sword Nuzlocke. Yes.
Your heart has made its choice then. All I ask is that you guide these open minds with virtue, care, and sincerity.
They are all promising youths who bear the weight of Fodlan's future upon their shoulders. I hope you appreciate what an honor it is to lead them.
Brother?
Fair enough.
Oh, I am so sincerely sorry. I did not mean
Hello,
to interrupt.
Flame.
I'm in the middle of something, Flame. Is it urgent?
No, it's nothing. More importantly, who is this?
This is our newest professor at the Academy.
Hello.
Oh my! A new addition to the Officers Academy! I am so very pleased to meet you, Professor. I am Sedith's little sister, Flame. I am so happy to make your acquaintance.
So of course, if we do even anything towards Flame, Sedith is going to murder us completely.
Let us focus on the
But
topic.
anyways, moving along.
There is something you should be aware of. In a few days' time, there will be a mock battle between the 3 houses, intended to gauge the current progress of the students. We will be using this battle as an opportunity to ascertain your own
But,
abilities
you know, fair enough.
as well.
This is a nice way to be able to, yeah, do the
That
whole,
is
like,
all.
how is everyone going to be needing to be shaping up in the future. But with that, we have made it through to now
So are you
being in
professors?
here.
You? I didn't see that one coming.
Fair enough.
Easy, Caspar. Aren't you being a bit rude?
You know it's a waste of time to expect politeness from him.
Oh boy, okay, right. Welcome to Fire Emblem Three Houses, where, you know how I often say with, like, trails, like, take a shot every time there's a scene where everyone in Class 7 has to get a word in, even if they have no relevance to the scene at all. Oh, they don't have to butt in at all. You could do this with Three Houses. Take a shot every time someone different talks in a cutscene, and you, in terms of the house you pick, and you're drowning yourself to death.
It will be a pleasure learning from you, Professor.
Okay, good. Linhart's willing to learn.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to take
Never
a
fucking mind.
Don't look at me like that.
No, I wasn't looking at you.
Oh, and please don't talk to me too much either.
Gotta deal with this one's anxieties, we do.
I'm sorry for the chaos you've walked into.
Fair play.
I feel
Game.
we are rather close in age, Professor.
We will take a look at the roster in a second
I
to
hope
look at the
you don't
ages.
mind if we treat you like one of us. In our class, we try to treat each other as equals, despite any differences in age or status. Personally, I would love to include you in that inner circle.
Sensibility by people. By Jove. I don't mind at all the power, and I have no choice in the matter.
Professor. I will take great joy from your teachings.
We all have guts.
Petra, I believe you mean to say that our professor has guts. That's a bit different from how
Right, okay, so language lessons for Petra starting now.
You can't go around saying someone so slim and attractive has a gut.
Why do people hit on Byleth so easily?
Please take my apologies. I have not yet mastered this language.
Professor, I want you to know that it's perfectly acceptable for you to treat me as you do the others.
Well, I was going to say that everyone here is a bitch, so okay, you bitch. And axe through the head.
I may be the Imperial Princess, but here at the Academy, I'm just another student.
Fair enough.
That said, know that I have high expectations of you, and high hopes. But I'm certain you can lead the Black Eagle House to greatness.
Sure. Now let's break the ice with a training session. I want to see our new teacher in action.
Why will the ice
I
be
mean,
broken?
that's the way you're going about it.
Is this a custom I have missed in my studies?
Yes.
Not real ice, just the ice of, well, it just means let's get to know each other.
I don't want to train. Let's stay in the classroom and...
Alright then, we'll learn magic.
From a book. Let's all calm down and have a nice cup of tea.
Ah, yes, an absolute spiffing idea there, Dorothy. A good cup of tea in the morning or afternoon, depending on what time it is in the day for you. I don't have a cup of tea right now, so... Yeah, Linhart actually is asleep. God damn it.
I know we all agreed to treat each other as equals, but there is a limit to what I can tolerate. The esteemed Black Eagle House requires order.
This is a chaotic bunch. I wish I chose the Golden Deer now.
Looks like your first job will be to quiet down this racket. I don't envy you.
Yeah,
You're not
certainly
normally this
a thing.
rowdy. I do hope you can manage, Professor.
Well, we'll do our best, even if our best is not enough. But our best we'll have to do, and combat art tutorial just on the loading screen if we really need it again. Tell how I position the controller, like it's just on my lap, it's just like slightly limp. There are new places to explore in the monastery in the future. And we get 1,000 gold from the Church of Ceros' funding for this month's activities. On Saturday 26th, we get exclamation marked, which means cutscene.
Say,
Hello,
while you're
Hallerman.
here, I'd like to use this device I designed to determine whether the power of a crest resides within you. Won't hurt a bit. Promise.
Also, you say, but you never know.
You don't know about crests.
Gibraltar has not told us anything, has
Allow
he?
me to tell you everything. Absolutely everything about them. Is your calendar clear?
Right, I'll clear it up.
Crests are a fascinating topic, but before one can
You know what?
dive
I wouldn't
deeply
mind
into
Diamond doing a Yap session because I wanted to play Final Fantasy 14, but it's down for maintenance for a good 24 hours due to the next patch. So, you know.
They are said to have been bestowed upon humans by the goddess.
And the way it works in combat for quests is quite simple. They trigger occasionally, depending on what the conditions are needed for them.
Those who carry crests may excel at magic, display exceptional strength, or any number of boons.
So they cheat. Got it.
Each crest has its own power, the nature of which is beyond mortal understanding. For now.
And you believe I have a crest?
I suspect as much, yes. But we won't know for sure unless I look into the matter. As I said, crests are passed down through the blood.
But you won't...
However, just because someone carries a crest does not necessarily mean their descendants will inherit it.
So there's just a chance that you just never get a quest.
Only
A quest could
scarce
die,
few
basically.
Descendants of a crest's bloodline end up inheriting that crest's power. Perhaps one of your ancestors bore a crest, and you just happen to inherit it.
Unlike Gerald, who probably didn't.
Usually presents itself, after all.
Do what you can to find out. Let's be sensible about it, and we're already in the room, so it's not too much off our back.
Now then, please go ahead and hold out your arm over this device here. What is this? A pattern I've never seen before. Is it possible an as yet undiscovered crest has been detected?
Finally, all this research he's done can be put to good use.
There are still crests out there that even I am unaware of. How thrilling!
Well, you get to work, Hanneman. I am off to do more important stuff.
Unrestrained jubilation. I have much to consider. You may leave now. I have more research to do in regard to this crest. Yes, so very much more research. But for now, your work here is done. What could this line here be indicating? Perhaps it represents a lack of symmetry. Or perhaps, what in the world? Oh, I see. It may be connected to that, but to a greater degree than usual.
Well, he's off in his own world. Let's go. Welcome to a Sunday. We get access to a menu now.
Professors of the Officers' Academy receive a schedule for the month ahead.
Yay.
It notes the days on which events and missions will take place that month.
For example, we can see in Gala Moon a bunch of stuff occurring.
Pay careful attention to your schedule, so that you may thoughtfully plan what you intend to do each month, and when.
Indeed. And of course the schedule will feature different events on different days. Each week you'll have one day off. It's signified by the F symbol, primarily on Sundays. So, pardon me. You know what, part of me wishes that it's possibly a case that someone of Intelligence Systems did indeed play Trails of Cold Steel and went, yes, let's just take this and put it into our video game. Our only option of us will be to explore. We can select the character with directional buttons to view the schedule. So we can do that. For example, we're on here. This is when we did Rescue at Dawn, and we missed out on Hubert's birthday. Oh, and also this day here of the Austrian Empire founding day. But our first day off, yay! As well as various things we can do in the Explore. If I heard a girl's voice, I must have been imagining things. Damn it, we've got girls' voices inside our heads. DLC supplies are in our bed, where we get a bunch of sacred items. Lovely. You can also check our journal at this point and change our unit's appearance, so we can access an academy outfit with a cloak and without a cloak. House loungewear, so we can wear loungewear of the Black Eagles. A servant's attire of a classic colorization. How may we assist you on this fine evening? And of course a custom one that has more of a colorization to do with which unit you have it equipped on. Summer wear, evening wear, sew this regalia, So this is what we wear. Simple enough. And a dancer ensemble for our main character, who can't be a dancer, but hey, you know, you can wear it at the very least. This is counted as war. So the idea is that you're in the academy outfit. There's also an accessory, you can wear glasses. That's right, glasses, so we can actually see where the fuck we're going. Or, you know, and also you can set it up so you have your class represented by in battle with the current class you are, or the monastery one where it will be set to whatever you have set for the monastery. However, some outfits and mounted units do not work in the same vein, so just keep that in mind. And there's the bulletin board telling us about quests we have. A fresh catch, Flame wants us to catch a fish. Green from beginnings, the dude wants us to grow some vegetables and share a bite. Sylvain wants people to share a meal. Ladies preferred.
These are the students' quarters. To better help you supervise them, you also have a room here. Your room is here
Fair enough.
at the end. Commoner students also reside on the first floor, while the second is primarily for students of noble birth. As a rule, we try to avoid discrimination based on social status here, but the nobility can be
As
quite
per usual, to
insistent
despise no
when it
one.
comes to matters.
Nobles
Speaking
can be a
of,
bit...
it would be best for you to avoid improper conduct. I expect you to set a good example for the students.
Improper conduct, you say? Well, it would be a shame if we happened to... Anyway, Edelgard's 17, Homer's 20... Okay, so less Scroomy-esque, but still there is that position of power where we're teaching them. That's what I meant earlier, like, 17... So yeah, okay, so minor, not minor, 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 not minor, but age difference could be a thing depending on who you are. Minor, definitely so. 15! Like, that's not even legal in quite a good amount of countries that have, like, age of consent being 16. Like, some of you online that draw loads of these people, you better be fucking time skipping ones, and are unknown. Of course, we can only see the roster of our students, so, which is a shame in a way, but now, well. Anyway, inside our inventory, I'm just gonna quickly, like, store the Fontenary, the sword, and the axe. We can put them on people later. Anyway, our main objective is to torture our house leader. That'd be not who, but that'd be Edelgard here.
Some believe the dignity of the Empire rests on the results of the mock battle. That's an
Understandable in a way. It's like, we're the Empire, we're the biggest place, and thereby the strongest by default. Wait, we lost?
We must do our best to prevail. You should take the time to learn each student's abilities. Perhaps some extra lessons and training sessions are in order? You look as if you have no idea what's going on.
Nope, I'm winging it quite a bit.
To help you find your footing. The monastery has some exceptional facilities that everyone who lives at the Officers' Academy is welcome to make use of. For example, you can enjoy a meal with your students at the dining hall, or take part in some one-on-one sparring at the training.
Some of this stuff becomes unlocked over time.
I suggest visiting the various facilities whenever you have the time to spare.
Then there's the Bunderborn quest, which we actually already talked about, so I don't think you need to go on about that. Activity
you should take
points.
your time when speaking with everyone, but when it comes to using the facilities, well, you need to be more careful about that.
Basically, if we do anything that requires an activity point, we'll lose out on our activity point, and then we'll be out of activity points, and then we'll have to end our exploration outside of anything that doesn't require activity points to do. Simple enough. We'll only have a certain amount, but we can level up our amount with our professor level.
Is expected from professors of the Officers' Academy, so it's important to hone your skills. To put it plainly, you'll need to keep expanding your knowledge of all disciplines, not just battle.
Indeed. Doing so will mean we'll have more activity points as well as various other things that we will be able to get into at a later point. Anyways, heading on downwards to Dude.
Let me know when you are hungry. I will make you a quality meal as thanks for your service.
You know what? Fair enough to Dude. That's fine.
Request.
But Green Fun Beginnings wants us to take some seeds and ask the greenhouse keeper how to grow and harvest the crops. So, simple enough, do some gardening. Heading along here, the dormitory, which we only just now get a thing told about. And look at the cat just on the ground. It's just lazing about in the sun. Only claims that she won't lose. Anyway, if you want to talk to Bernadetta at all, you'll most likely find her here in her room.
I don't like to come out unless I really have to.
Fair enough, considering the state of certain countries' politics. Fair enough, Bernadetta. I'll leave you to it.
You're okay with that, Professor?
Well, anyhow, Sylvain is who we need to talk to for another one.
Dorothea, Hilda, and Mercedes. Lady Rhea is quite the beauty too. And I must admit, I've even checked out Professor Manuela.
Hi, Sylvain.
You know,
Keep it in your
Professor,
pants.
I think I'm going to like it at the Officers Academy. There are beautiful girls as far as the eye can see. Professor? I've got a
Well,
small
anyways, the idea of sharing with other people, though, we could order the dining stuff for that. So, you know, lovely stuff. Inside the dining hall, which we've managed to not trigger the thing to be like, hey, look, it's the dining hall. It's Flane. Hello,
Well,
Flane.
I call you that, but I am afraid I am not a student here myself.
And why are you calling me Professor? Oh, wait, because we can just choose our name. Oh, that's a
Should
shame.
the opportunity arise, I would love
Sarah
to
immediately just like,
and begin
no.
my studies, and the monastery is kind enough to provide a sanctuary for my brother and I. He's the only family I have.
Fair enough, and that sounds like trauma that should be explored later. Anyway, Flame would like us to fish. So go catch a fish in the fishing pond. Behold, the dining hall. Yes, it's me.
Busy. Do you want something?
I was going to spar
I
with you,
can't right
actually.
now, but let's fight soon. I look.
Felix wants to spar with people until suddenly they're like, I want to spar. And it's like, no. Anyways, with share a meal, we can share this sagot and cream. A baked confection coated with Noah fruit cream and a currant reduction. Often enjoyed as a dessert at family gatherings. People with blue arrows represent those that actually like what they have. And red arrows means people that don't. These are all the people we can share with out of all of them because I think, yeah, we don't have anything for anything else. And Sylvain wants us to do it with some of the women. Fair enough. And these smiles on the faces of our black eagles. This is motivation, which is needed for when we actually teach them things. So, in order to do that, we need them to be motivated. So, but Dorothea, get Bernadetta out of her room. Let's have a meal.
I think I like this, but it's been a while, so I'm not sure.
Well, the game claimed you do.
Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
This will also grow our support between not only the two of them, but with ourselves. Also, it nets us the professor level experience needed to get to E+. Which means more activity points in the future, and also more monthly funds for activities in the future. Now, we did this. Great news, we got some fish and some, well, it's represented with a tomato, but some onions and turnips. So, you know, quest complete. And we get renowned as well. Also, we can't do much else in terms of activity point related stuff, but do not press that L button, because down here is where we fish, as well as the greenhouse where we'll plant our seeds. Do a bit of sowing of the seeds, one might say. Anyway, fishing! I can never escape fishing mini-games. Anyways, we press AL when it overlaps, and that will be it. And yeah. Anyway, we use Flame's bait to do this, and oh, low battery on my controller. Okay. Simple enough. Perfect is obviously more ideal than a good, but you know, and we got a carbosis. So I'm looking at the Saint's Lane. Anyway, we will report to Flane in a moment. Let's head along here, and then Hart's looking for a place to sleep.
The Great Tree Moon is the best time of the year for naps. I could just forget all about my assignment.
Do your work. And oh crap, now I'm feeling sleepy too. Damn it, Linhart. Stop yawning all over the place. Ash is in the garden.
Oh,
Did you come to look at the plants too? The greenhouse
Some of them
here
are
is
rather
really
big,
incredible.
like
There are
dinosaur
so many rare
big.
flowers I'd never seen back home, and herbs I never even knew existed.
You seem well informed on the
My
subject.
adoptive father is the real expert. He taught me everything I know about herbs, including how to tell them apart and how to make medicines. You should try
Fair
looking
enough.
around the greenhouse sometime if the mood strikes you. Maybe something will catch your eye.
Alright, well anyways, in the greenhouse we can do gardening. The way it works is quite simple. We plant, then cultivate, and then on the next time we go and explore, we will be able to harvest said seeds. For now though, we can only infuse with magic or pour air mid-water. We'll just go with infuse with magic, and the infusion is complete, and now we'll be able to harvest. Next time we are in the explore bit at a later time. Here is a sparkly effect. Pressing A on it nets us stuff, like those blue flower seeds we just now picked up. So, lovely. Anyways, the only thing we've got left on this day that we can do outside of optional dialogue with various people around and about the academy is Flame handing it in. So we get some insect larvas and some fish. Which does mean I keep pressing R. I'm used to playing games that utilise R for sprinting. We can now go back to the pond and fish some more with these larvas. Now, we can actually also hold off. Except that's wet. Oh, I'll do that. A simple fishing minigame, though I do kind of like Treasure Cold Steel 1 and 2's smash the button affair. A crane loach. We can actually wait. So, like, that was a blue one. And that's a red one. Ooh, we're good at the end, which breaks the combo. Boo. Like, I still hit it, for fuck's sake. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's end our exploration for now, and that ends our free day. Woo! Moving along to the 30th. It's Ferdinand's birthday. We could buy him flowers. We'll do that. Why not? Some flowers on this blessed day. Right. I do want to check people's inventories quickly and see what they would have. So an iron axe already, but we have a spare if we want to use it. And Casper's got one as well. Hubert's got nothing, but he does use magic. Lance on an iron lance on there. Training sword. We can upgrade Linhart to an iron sword. Same with Dorothea. We could upgrade to iron. We'll do that. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else we can really do. Other than take a look at these special items we got, where permanently increases health by 7, increases strength by 3, speed by 3, and increases movement by 2. We can give that all to ourselves, and because these are DLC items. I don't remember what form of DLC it is. Like, granted this, I'm assuming, I think it's just Ash and Wolf related, but you know what? I'll take it. Just increase our stats quite a bit by default. Make us stronger. Yippee. Anyways. Rivalry of the Houses. Just level 1. As the formerly a promising young mercenary, you're now the newest professor at the prestigious Officers Academy. Students and faculty alike look on with curiosity as you engage in a mock battle between the school's 3 houses. For the namesake. We'll save our progress here and, yeah, go into battle. Danger Radius! You can do this and take a look exactly how into danger you're going. Danger, danger. High voltage.
It's finally time for the mock battle.
Danger, danger. Anyways, mock battle time.
To measure
Whoopee!
your worth as an instructor. Do you think you can rise to the challenge?
I'm concerned now, or leave it to me. That sounds
So
about
confident. This will be interesting. Each of us has undergone strict training. We're prepared for anything that comes our way. That means there's no need to hold back. Show us what you're capable of.
Hey there. Did we miss our invite to this strategy meeting? No, no worries. We'll just join in now.
Simply tell me your weaknesses and you're welcome to stay. But is there enough time to cover them all?
We get it, they have weaknesses,
Win
but still.
unless you know my weakness. Poor princess. You really should believe in yourself more.
I spare no effort when pursuing victory. As a master of schemes, I should think you would understand.
Schemes? Me? I have no idea what
What you're planning, Claude?
I plan to...
Hearing the words fair and square from Claude can only be a bad omen.
Your Highnesses haven't known me for very long, but you already have me figured out, don't you?
No need to poke fun. I will fight with honor. That said, I will fight to win.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And the same is true of us. Right, Professor?
I don't intend to lose.
If that is how you feel, then I will not hold back.
Oh, how precious. Looks like you and the students have become fast friends.
Apparently so.
While I am pleased that you are taking the initiative to acquaint yourself with the students, I'm afraid it's about time for the faculty strategy meeting.
Yay,
Ah, how
meetings.
time flies. In that case, I'll see you later.
Edelgard, Professor, be careful out there.
Fair enough.
Why, thank you so much.
These most deployed means either people recruit them or it's just a myriad of a tie and you never know for sure.
I thank you.
Because I swear like these listings have probably been like the same since launch. Anyway, we now get told about magic because we now have people that utilize it, like Hubert for example, which, you know, utilizes the magic stat and hits appending on the resistance stat. They have a number amount of uses. Of course, if they're an actual proper magic class, then they'll actually have access to more magic than a set amount. We can now select various things in the menu, like the units. We have to use Edelgard, and we have to choose 3 of these wily swords that will help us in dealing with the enemy. Whether we have a deciding factor or not on that. I mean, we'll take Linhardt for healing, and then we'll take Hubert for magic, but he's only got a set amount, so I'll take Dorothea instead, just on pardon me, on that aspect. And then a bow or a lance. You know what, we have range attacks in Dorothea. Let's take Ferdinand. We're going to see how far each person can move. Lovely. There we go. That's the danger zone. We can begin the battle now.
The mock battle is finally here. Will you lead us to victory?
We'll try at least.
I'm sure you already understand, but the house that defeats the other 2 is declared the winner. Incidentally, I'll be overseeing this mock battle, so listen well if you want to win.
Geralt's still trying to tutorialize us, but anyway, as you can tell, all these enemies here are red, which means they're all going to attack me instead. Yay. Ash is up here with a bow, while these guys, Lawrence here is with a lance, and Ignaz is also here with a bow. Yay, plenty of bow usage. Muella's there, and Hammond's there. They both have items for us. So,
stay focused.
If we put ourselves in the woods.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
I will.
We can also just keep everyone else out of the battle radius and just let them all attack us.
Tactics are required, Claude. Ignaz and I will dismantle the opposition.
Me? But I'm not ready.
Are you making light of our new professor? If you drop your guard, you're gonna get hurt.
Ash, can you move to the front lines? I want to lure the enemy this way.
Got it, Your Highness. Leave it to me.
Once you finish preparing, make your move. Dedu, Mercedes, keep our enemy occupied until then.
I'm on it.
Excellent strategizing by various people.
Let's use the forest to set up an ambush. I'm counting on your support, everyone.
Ash doesn't actually move far, but that means we can easily attack him later. And sliced in half.
I've lost? Oh, unthinkable.
As expected.
I don't think we needed to murder him that quickly, game, but okay.
Another.
I mean, we have taken damage.
If they're waiting in the forest, we do well to take a detour.
there's different tactics we can do at this point in terms of fighting the enemy. For instance, since Ignatz is using a bow, we can do this with Ferdinand without any issues whatsoever. Thank you, game. Similarly, we can also attack with Linhardt, but we then take damage from Ignatz due to getting doubled. Ooh. Might be worth me using Smash just so that it actually is likely to actually hit. And we've got some Saros, which means we beat Ash up.
Well, how was that?
Well done.
I'll let the others deal with Ignatz. I'm gonna go this way.
Well done, Teach. I may have to take this seriously.
Because taking it seriously is a good idea. Yeah, he's in the double on Linhardt. Fair enough. But not so much, it does mean we heal a little bit, so, you know. But sadly, he's gone into the forests. Linhardt himself can actually do a bit of attacking on his own accord. We can use magic, we can use attack. We can use sword, but no. We'll do magic approach. There we go.
I've lost. The new professor is quite a commander.
Don't want to go straight into the forest.
Are you really gonna fight two houses at once? An impressive display of confidence.
This is a good opportunity for us. Let's forge ahead.
My, how confident. But they have now all started moving, so... Sadly, that defense boost means, even though we do deal damage, it's going to be a little bit more of a harder hit. Being fair. It's probably we need Linhardt to get closest for the magic purposes. Same with Dorothea, they only have so much movement.
Dimitri, it's time. We can finally settle the question of who's stronger.
Very well. I accept your challenge. With you as my opponent, I won't hold anything back.
I would expect no less.
Well, one hit, one didn't, so I don't know if that's a question of who's stronger or who's more agile there. I was pointing magic and not strength. Damn it.
Apologies, Your Highness. I can go no further.
Witness my power.
Okay, so Edelgard has just been used as a punching bag a bit there. Right, okay, let us heal Edelgard.
A great help.
What about this door? Okay, she gets this far, okay. We'll do one more attack.
A tough opponent, but I refuse to yield. Do not fool yourself into believing I will hold back.
And with that... Okay, yeah, it's reminding me. I need to plug it in. I haven't plugged it in yet. Only a point in defense and health. Okay. In true Fire Emblem fashion, sometimes we could get screwed over by our stats. Just not growing in the ways we want them to. Aiming to murder Linhardt, you are. Sadly, those three are actually gone real close now, so... be smart for us to take Claude out.
Look at that, a real-life princess. I'll have to be careful not to scar that little face of yours.
Careful, Claude. I'll win no matter what, but you're only making things harder for yourself.
Losing hasn't even crossed your mind, has it? Ooh, this would be
Only a loser would think of losing.
To shock was your intention to begin with, was it not?
Still alive. But, yeah,
I
no.
must get stronger.
Give me a stat growth stat. Hide in the forest. Ooh, that would be a death. Okay. How does Dorothea deal with Claw of Thunder? Ah! As long as she hits, we win. Yeah!
Not quite what
Only magic and defense. We've had better.
I hate losing. I guess I'll just have to settle for cheering the others on.
Yep. Tempest Lance, guarantee Mercedes is down.
This is as far as I can go.
Only a fool challenges me.
Put him in the forest then. Which will reduce their hit rate on him, so... Anyway, we'll just naturally deal with Manuela.
I nearly wound up a patient in my own infirmary.
Yeah, that would be real unfortunate, wouldn't it? Yeah, let me get Vulnerary out of it as well.
So, you've made it past Manuela, eh? I see now I must focus and then make my move.
Oh, Herman, I'm just simply leaving the best till last, clearly. Interesting approach there, fellas. He cannot reach Hilda. Huh. Well. Oh, so, yeah. Kill him with a sword.
Ouch! Was that really necessary?
Yes. Yes,
You
it
were
was.
wide open.
And Hilda.
Sweet of you.
Yeah, you know what? We could just murder Hammond like this. Yeah, there we go.
The leadership of someone with actual battle experience is, well, I was as good as useless.
Each battle a chance to grow.
And we get an intermediate seal.
All right, that's that. The winner of this mock battle is the Black Eagle House.
Even though it was just a mock battle, we defeated both houses masterfully. Take pride in this victory, everyone.
Well, good for us. And MVP status, of course, goes to ourselves. Which means all our allies' motivations increase. Yay! Oh, pardon me. Anyways. Moving on.
Excellent work today, Professor. Though our victory should come as no surprise.
Indeed it doesn't. It was relatively easy, actually.
Yes, it was. Further proof that you're well qualified to guide the Black Eagles.
Indeed.
That was impressing, Professor.
Impressing.
Impressive.
Yeah, there we go,
gained a
that's the
victory
word.
because of your great leadership.
We certainly did. We all tried our best, of course, but we couldn't have won without you.
True.
I was curious what it would look like if you did not hold back, and you did not disappoint.
I dare say we owe our victory to Lady Edelgard.
How so? For that battle, she was only a soldier following our professor's command. Sure, she was an incredibly powerful soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it too much, Linhart. All that matters is that we won.
Yay!
I'm all done with being on the battlefield, okay? I'd rather stay back than pursue victory.
Well, Benedetta, it's time for you to go to the front lines.
You were all as ridiculous as always. We only managed to win because we worked together.
Yeah.
Was it something I said? Is it so odd, me talking about togetherness? If so, that perception must change. In fact, I'm canceling the festivities so we can discuss.
Everyone here is equally as quirky as the other.
I'm kidding, of course. Come on, everyone. We've earned this celebration.
Hooray!
Your work with the students
Later in the
was
audience chamber.
remarkable. I can see Geralt trained you well. I do hope you were able to use the occasion to bond with the students.
No, I mean, I did.
I'm so happy to hear it. Nothing would please me more than if you used this coming year to grow closer still.
Of course,
Oh,
the
we'll
mock
see.
battle was mere practice. The real fight is the battle of the Eagle and Lion, which will take place during the Wyvern Moon.
So we'll see that in that particular
You are
point of the
expected
game.
to properly train your students so as not to humiliate the Academy during the long-held tradition that is the coming battle.
Fair enough.
As for today, I have called you here to tell you of your mission for the month ahead. Your class is to dispose of some bandits causing trouble nearby.
My mission, you say?
Those affiliated with Garreg-Mach Monastery have a moral obligation to help those in need.
So essentially we're still doing some level of mercenary work, but now being of the monastery
Students are
instead.
no exception. Each month before the newly birthed moon departs, each house of students must complete their assigned mission. You shall work to complete the task at hand alongside your students and report back to the Archbishop before the deadline. Understood?
Yes, sir.
I will soon provide you with the necessary details for your first mission. If I told you now, I expect you would only forget.
Hey.
I despise repeating myself.
How rude.
I can sense something special within your heart. I have high hopes for you.
She knows what we are.
Bandits, they say.
There. Voice in my head.
Do you
It
recall when
returned.
we first met? You shall not fall so shamelessly again, correct?
Damn it, save this.
Words for me. Do not tell me that you are shocked to hear from me.
Meanwhile on the ground having a heart attack from hearing Sophie's voice again.
You ought to know that I am always with you now. To hear my voice should not come as a shock.
Right.
What is this nonsense?
Meanwhile-
All I was told was to kill as many noble pipsqueaks as possible. No one said anything about the Knights of Damned Saros being on our trail.
You have proven yourself worthless, distracted by something so trivial. I had hoped you would achieve your goal despite the setback. But now a child of the Knight's former captain is in play. How interesting.
Hey, this isn't what I agreed to.
Hiring a mercenary as a professor. What was that woman thinking?
Now tell yourselves, would you be able to figure out who this is? On this cutscene alone? If you could, then maybe you'd notice things a lot easier than others.
How do we finish this?
You die.
Oh no! Oh, poor Kostas.
Underestimating the Knights was an amateur mistake. One you will pay for. The road to eternal torment awaits you all. Now I must locate your replacements.
Wait! Get back here! Damn you!
Well, ominous, obvious bad guy aside, good old Kostas is about to meet his end. Gee, I wonder what our first mission's going to be. Chapter
Part
2.
1. White clouds. Harpstring moon. Familiar scenery.
This stuff looks similar to other things I have seen in the past.
In honor of the saints whose births or deaths took place under this moon, the people perform music once beloved.
Oh, that poor sod died one day.
Whether by harp, by flute, or voice alone, Joyous melodies are shared between farmers as they sow their seeds across the vast plains of Tailtean and
It's hard but honest work. Which is why it's weird when said farmers then vote for the most conservative person possible that then doesn't appreciate the farmers the way that they hope. That would explain why Jake Rees-Mogg was in Parliament for way too bloody long. That's our fault. We Somersettians whip ourselves to this day for letting that happen. There are now new places to explore in the monastery, and we get 2,000 gold! Whoopee! And an exclamation mark, meaning cutscene. As Setiv is here to tell us what to do.
Subdue some bandits. Our students have been learning about combat through study, but this is a precious opportunity to provide them with practical experience.
Indeed.
The knights will support your mission and are prepared to offer their assistance if necessary. In short, this is no mock battle. You must be prepared for anything. You will receive a message from the knights when it is time to depart. Until then, use your time wisely.
And we will.
The last time we fought bandits, you saved me. Maybe I can return the favor this time.
Yeah, maybe you can have your back get hit with an axe and then time goes back. Let's do our best.
The knights are well aware of our enemy's strength. We can count on them to keep the battlefield under control for us. It seems unlikely that we would lose. Still, let's do all we can to prepare.
Indeed.
You seem well.
Later in the captain's quarters. I think so.
Oh,
in terms of
I didn't
adjusting.
expect that answer. When we were mercenaries, I handled everything. Outside of battle, you didn't have much contact with people, did you?
Yay, socially awkwardness.
Woo. Noble brats to teach would be a bit much for you. But I guess I had nothing to worry about. By the way, I heard about those bandits. Your first assignment is to take them out, right? That's fairly routine for you by now. But don't forget it's the first real taste.
True enough.
of brats. It'll be tougher to sleep at night if you let one of your little pupils die. So stay vigilant and lead them well.
Oh no, they all died in an explosion. Nah.
I wish I could offer you my support, but Lady Rhea won't allow it. For now, I'll try to figure out what she wants from you. I don't mind you settling into your life here, but don't let your guard down. Ever.
Don't let religion into your mind, Byleth, whatever you do. Where just comes knocking on the door. Hello, we are the Church of Cerberus. Here's a leaflet. Fucking like a Jehovah's Witness, essentially. Anyway, that Sunday's not a free Sunday, so we just go past it, and it's Annette's birthday. We don't have to give her flowers, but we will anyway. And our first free day of the month. Monastery holds events with various effects, so we do need to take a look at them. And of course, with the Ashen Wolf DLC, you can travel to and from the Abyss. So there is a fishing symbol for lots of large fish and the food symbol for bonding bites. Then Raphael's birthday is here on the 18th of the Sunday, and then there's nothing on the 25th, event-wise. On the 21st, it's St. Macaulay Day, and Mercedes' birthday is on the 27th. We have 2 Mondays of teaching as well in the process. So, you know. Anyway, for now, all we can do is explore, but also access the marketplace, where we can buy various bits of armory stuff, aka weapons, like steel swords. Lovely. Ranged weapons for lance, not for swords. Lance is getting, so does axes. Hell, you can get a mace, which is good against armored units. Bow's always good against flying units, no matter what, except mini bow. Iron gauntlets and onwards. These are fist weapons. They can do things. Simple enough. Item shop allows you to buy various items like shields and vulneraries and seals. Beginner seals allow you to take a certification for beginner class, and the intermediate one is for intermediate classes. More of that in the future. Also, torches, pure water, keys, that sort of thing. Simple enough. The Battalion Guild is not unlocked, nor is the blacksmith. So yeah, first I just want to sort my inventory out again, because I don't need all these vulneraries, clearly. Alright, let us save the game for now, and oh, good old next time in Fire Emblem Three Houses, we'll go through chapter 2. I don't know if it will be a chapter per part, or if there'll be times when we do multiple in quick succession. But hey, I did promise at one point I'd do a Black Eagles playthrough. I maybe should have didn't need to roll the dice for that, actually, possibly. But hey, you know, if you like what you see, you can always subscribe and like and do all the other things you can on YouTube. And you can also check out the other stuff, like the Final Fantasy XIV playthrough. Of course, today I couldn't do much about that because it's in maintenance for until 10 o'clock tomorrow. So that's fun. I'm not even doing anything that will be in the patch. And of course, the sword Nuzlocke. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you all. Bye bye.